Hello and welcome to TPK Roleplay, everybody. How is it going? Happy TPK Con. Also, oh my gosh, you guys are already going ham with the subs. Thank you so much. Dear Lord. That's insane. Now I'm gonna be hearing praise the sub like 8 more times while I'm doing this intro and announcements. But yeah, before we introduce everybody, we have some announcements. Because we're playing we're doing a playtest basically. The gist of it, we were playing Violet Core, written by the lovely Sarah Carapace, who is also the artist for Dungeon Bitches. If you've seen our one shot for that, the first TPK Coven one shot, he was working on this for around a year and a half before teaming up with Emily, another one of the Dungeon Bitches devs, and putting development on pause. The version being played today is the most recent, done in June 2021 while working on art for Dungeon Bitches. So the stream you're watching right now is actually the first stream of this, so that's pretty cool. You're making history with us, chat. Oh my gosh, I just noticed some overlay problems, but it's okay. We'll do that in a second. So yeah, there actually are not any linked pages to this game, so please go over to Sarah Carapace's Twitter because she just shared a lovely thread that breaks all of this down very, very well. So go look at that. But later this year, there will be a preview version released called Violet Core Ash, and sometime towards the end of the year or maybe early next year, there will be a Kickstarter on this. So yeah, that's all the announcements for the game development. Also, pluses and minuses still apply here. +2s are good, chat, and -2s are bad. I will remind you that this is somewhat akin to Powered by the Apocalypse, where the GM, or in this case, me, the Celestial Mistress, does not really roll. So, in case you're planning on trying to foil me or something like that, sorry. Good and bad tables will do the same thing, except it'll be, good effects or detrimental effects. Or, if you do a TPK deck of things, we're just gonna see what happens. Yeah, just play around with it. But yeah, other than that, let's go around the horn and introduce ourselves, starting with Vermin.
Morning, everybody, or it's morning over here. I am Legendary Vermin, and today I'm going to be playing Cassandra, who is a Violet kind pilot, and that's sort of like a purpose-built psychic, is how I'm going to phrase that. I am piloting a big robot that is an ogress model, so it's a big violent mech with kind of insect-looking features, and it's called the Gunload.
Cool. Next we have Corn Dog.
That's me. I'm Corn Dog McGraw. Hello. I am going to be playing Gray, a recently rebuilt pilot. She is a rebuilt pilot type who is flying the Jester. It is a beautiful mech with, according to the art, very large hips, and the only one of its kind. Super excited. The mech is named Eris, and I am the only Jester in existence currently. So, very excited to be here.
All right, and last but not least, Meg. Oh, you are muted.
It's always something.
You're fine.
The amount of times where I'm the player and I'm muted and talk is absurd. Hello, everybody. I am Meg Mysteria. You guys, if you were up early enough, saw me in the last panel. But today I am playing in this wonderful game as Ava. She is a Shining Star pilot archetype, which means I'm the best in the biz. And I will be piloting a Gorgon X10 named Valor. That's, well, if the names go off of anything, you kind of have an idea of what's going to be happening there. So, without further ado, if you want to take us away, Heck.
Yeah, and once again, I'm Sir Heckalot, I don't think I introduced myself at the beginning, but yeah, I'm Sir Heckalot, and today I will be your celestial mistress, running these lovely space cadets through our adventure at hand. So yeah, let's go ahead and bring everybody in, including you, chat. Let's take this adventure. Welcome to the Nemesis System, home of the Reach, where we lay our scene. Our factions, the Reach, Homebound, and Cosmic Embrace, are as clashing as ever, and the cold, distant stare through the weapon scopes of the planet Cerulea's people have still not warmed. To make matters worse, every 26 million years or so, the Nemesis star's long, elliptical orbit brings it close to our solar system, ushering extinction events across both systems. This is known as the convergence, and it is fast approaching. The factions, as well as the people of Cerulea, are desperately attempting to escape the system, though each of their goals and methods are at odds with each other. And this is where we meet our pilots within Swan, the first colony station. Bound to the orbit of Indigo, Cerulea's only moon, this is the headquarters of the Reach. As each of you are going about your day, it's been rather slow lately, surprisingly so. There haven't been too many missions, or at least lengthy missions, to go on lately. You've had a pretty extended period of downtime in your living quarters, mostly. For cadets in the Reach, you're all kind of close together in apartment complex-like living spaces. So the higher-ups can mostly keep a close eye on you. Though today, of all days, you each receive an automated message you're all rather accustomed to receiving before mission briefing. New mission objective available. Report to the director immediately. So yeah, I'll add again that pilots of the Reach are typically an apartment complex-like living arrangement, so we all are pretty close together. So if you'd like to introduce your characters further or converse before briefing, that's totally cool.
So I imagine that Ava is probably hanging out in whatever common area, just talking, chatting up with some people about the last mission, playing herself up, basically. And when the automated message comes up on the, we have watches for communicators, right? Watches in earpiece, from what I remember.
You can flavor it however you want.
I was told PDAs don't exist, so... so that comes up and she's like, finally it was getting boring as hell here. And just hops up and stretches and starts heading towards where the briefing room is.
What does your character look like? Oh, right as he took a bite.
Please hold while I eat my breakfast. So Ava is very clear cut. She's got kind of like a bodysuit top on, much like this one, the black with the cold shoulders, and some baggier, like purple pants. Her hair is more of like a silvery color with a hint of purple to it, and has the sides are shaved, but she's got some long hair going down the back with some victory curls going around to it. And then, of course, some fun purple eyeshadow and dark lipstick. Very much wants to exude that bitch energy.
So good.
Yeah.
I think in contrast, we see Cassandra in her quarters, kind of like sitting on the edge of the bed, waiting. And when the alert comes in, she's already in her uniform, and it's like as pristinely in order as it can be. She's really tall, and because she's sort of like a manufactured human, manufactured soldier, she's like very, very tall, very, very muscular, and she has like pale violet eyes, and she's dyed her hair so that it's like teal at the roots, and then midnight blue, fading to midnight blue through the ends. And she's got like one big long braid, but everything else is cut really short. And she kind of hears the alert and then like taps her feet and is like counting to herself to not be the first person to show up in the briefing room. And then she gets up and leaves her room, trying to be slow and not too eager.
And then Gray is over by the area where the X10s are kept, currently checking in on how her X10 is doing, because probably didn't do so hot last time she was out with it. It's a little bit messy trying to learn a new X10, but also trying to learn a brand new body, because since she is a rebuilt, her body's a lot different than it used to be. She started off as just a normal human, but now she is heavily scarred. She is missing her right arm and right leg, which have both been replaced with prosthetics, and she is constantly on the edge of like where you're too tired to function, but you still manage to get the rest of the day done. It's always like right on that edge. Or like when you wake up tired already, that's where she's at. And she's just, once that briefing comes in, she perks up a little bit because she knows that she'll be able to see one of her friends. But then there's also that feeling of, oh God, I'm so tired already. And she just like slowly starts to walk in with people kind of giving her like the side eye. Small whispers come about through the hallways, just trying to ignore what other people are saying and just get to her friends so she can just sit down and just hide a little bit.
For sure.
I do want to say that I think Cassandra is the first one at the briefing room, despite all of her efforts.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Probably the closest one.
And, like, their CEO isn't even in there yet. Like, it's just like,
I mean, that's pretty accurate. Yeah, you all have passed through the main base many times before. You've become almost entirely noseblind to the smells of sanitary lab equipment and deaf to the sounds of developing machinery humming in the background. As you pass through several large cubicles of records and organizers, you finally reach your destination, the briefing room. The doors slide open. Cassandra, you in first, and the rest of you file in after, to varying degrees of time. And before you is the director, a somewhat gaunt man, or at least what you can tell of his hologram. The nodes controlling the rest of the council's holograms seem to be inactive, though, for the most part.
good morning.
Greetings, cadets. Thank you for your promptness. We have a new mission at hand. It seems that there are some drone sites that are being sabotaged around Lavender. Your mission is quite simple. Just an escort mission. Accompany the remote technician drones to repair them. Possibly find the cause of this if you can as well. The officials in Cerulean will not be quite happy if there's no explanation for slowed exports. Seems simple. We don't have much information on it, so the more the better. Any questions?
Nope. Simple in and out, right?
No, sir. Thank you.
No.
Affirmative. You will have your coordinates sent to you and be on your way. No giant rush to get ready and get out as fast as you can. Definitely be careful with this. Lavender is, unpredictable. And yeah, with that, there are no questions. The hologram is going to shrink into nothing and the node will go inactive.
So I'm having trouble remembering, keeping track of all the planets. Remind me the state of Lavender again?
So Lavender, what he probably meant by being around there, probably not going on the planet, considering it is the analog to Venus. So it is a greenhouse planet, and the crushing atmosphere and inhospitable, or the crushing gravity and the inhospitable atmosphere probably tells you that you're not going to be going on it, but there are drones nearby that you will probably help with the repair out in the space around Lavender. It is still unpredictable, though, with being as volatile as it is. Things around it. And, yeah. Y'all would know that.
What time of day is it, roughly?
It's about midday-ish. It's kind of hard to tell considering you're in like a space station colony. You're just kind of out floating, at least where you are. Some of the living arrangements are affixed to moons and other things, but at least where you guys are, it's a little harder to tell.
Yeah, I think Cassandra, it is the kind of person who, takes, not charge, but, is officially assigned as, the leader of the squad. Are we cool with that? Okay. And she, looks at her watch, and she's like, okay, let's prepare for launch at 1400 hours.
Did you say prepare for lunch?
Launch.
Oh.
Launch.
Okay. Great, just kind of sinks back into her chair, just oh god.
Have you eaten yet?
No. I probably should. I'm gonna do that first.
I'll come with you.
Okay, I've got extras if you guys need them.
And I kind of look over. Are you coming? And she's looking. Yeah.
Okay. She'll kind of bob her head back and forth and say, yeah, I'll come with.
All right, I will lead them back to my apartment that I totally have here in space. This is so neat.
Your space apartment.
Oh my gosh, I feel like Xenon. And just kind of lead them back to it. And when you guys get in there, it's just complete disarray. You can tell that this is a person who is still learning how to dress their body. So clothes are thrown across the floor because they don't know what fits until they put it on. It's just everything is a hot mess clothing wise. Food is everywhere, and some jars have just been left open because once Gray was able to get them open, was just I'm not fucking trying to open that again. It's just open. It's just out. Everything is out. It's very messy, kind of smelly, but there's still some good space food lunch packs. I assure you, we will have to hydrate them. It's all dehydrated food. So I'm just going to start throwing some lunch packs into the hydrator that totally exists.
I am very discreetly tidying behind your back.
I accept this.
I'm looking
Even if it was
specifically
indiscreet.
she's anything that looks like it's clothing that didn't fit and popped at the stitches. she's just like moving to like the pile by the recycler for you.
Excellent.
Ava's just kind of looking around, is like, do you having a hard time adjusting?
I didn't really ever anticipate having to live like this. And she just kind of like gestures with her arm that works really well, but she just hasn't figured out how to use it yet. It's that early on stages where you're still trying to figure out how this part of your body works. And also dealing with phantom limb issues. So she's just very like... And if you guys have flown with her before, you know that there was a time before when she had her full body. Gray has been close with Cassandra? Is that... Yes. They've been close since they were kids, at least. I can't remember if we said that all three of us were close since childhood. But if we were, Powerpuff Girls. But just kind of... They knew her before and they know her after, and it's just kind of getting used to being rebuilt. Especially when you think you should have been dead the first time. So, she's just kind of... She gestures just, yeah, still weird. Still hate it. And just keeps making lunch. Not really looking the other two in the eye because she is aware that her apartment is messy and kind of embarrassed by it, but also still wants her friends to be able to come over despite that. So.
Once the... Oh, go ahead.
Do you think you're going to be okay to fly?
Yeah, we actually were doing some tweaks to the Jester, just before I went into the mission briefing. I think we've sorted out how to fuse a little bit better now. It's still gonna be a little weird, but I think we'll be okay.
Your times in the Sims have been better.
They have been, which is promising. I feel like they kind of built it for me in my current condition now, so it's nice to see it start to sync up.
Yeah. It's a great rig.
It's definitely a rig. She just chuckles and continues making food.
I am almost jealous you've got the only one in the fleet. The Jester model, right? Is that what they're calling it?
They are. I think the reason why is because it helps to be a rebuilt if you're flying one. It's a little bit crazy, and the toxins can be really bad, turns out. Yeah. Don't recommend touching the entire right side of the Jester. Just don't touch it.
Hey, you know me, I'm not one to get close.
Just nods.
There has been like a stuttering effort on the part of Cassandra to like figure out where to sit, and figuring out what is too close or too far away from Eva to be like polite and feeling like camaraderie. So she's been like floating and then like standing and then like moving and then standing and then sitting again, just kind of like looking sideways.
It was just kind of found. It was just kind of found where like the table or the counter, however it's set up, and is taking a seat in the chair, and is just kind of leaning on it, kind of like much like this, with just her head propped on her hand, and is just talking the whole time. And eventually, just looks over at Cassandra and is like, "Are you going to sit down, fidget, clean? What are you doing?"
And a long pause. Yeah, I just I get nervous before flights, so jitters.
Well, I
I'm
hope
fine.
hope that doesn't carry out into the field.
I will be fine in the field. And it's like a quick, firm change in the way that she's talking about it.
I just hope I get to see you eat someone's head again. That was pretty cool.
I hate it when it does that.
It looks cool from where I'm sitting. That's all I'm saying.
Can we cut forward somewhere, like to like launch or something? I don't know where.
Yeah,
the
that
scene's
was
going.
yeah. Speaking of talking about your X10s, I was actually wondering if like show me what preparing your X10 is like leading up to the launch. Like what kind of preparations do you do, like becoming like not just pilot and X10 but one being together?
I can go first. I've been thinking about this a lot.
Go for it.
So, as Gray approaches, it's not just her approaching the X10. There is an entire team of people waiting to help her get into the X10, strap her in, make sure that systems are firing, while also, like, keeping a wide perimeter around the neurotoxin-fueled arm that she has on her X10. So there's a lot of people going around checking everything, making sure that everyone nearby is safe. This mech, the reason why there's only one is because it has to take up so much space outside their beautiful space station complex. So, trying to keep everyone safe. And as she approaches, people are checking in with her, checking like her vitals, seeing what she's feeling, getting her mindset. Like there's definitely like a therapist who's just checking in real quick that she's kind of shrugging off and just being like, yep, fine, I'm okay. And she just kind of grumpily walks towards her X10 and climbs in. I believe hers is the spine of the machine is where like her body is situated. So she climbs just into the back of it, sets her prosthetics in essentially their holders that are also part of the machine. So her body fuses into the machine as she just kind of settles in and starts just doing every single, like, this part's up and running, every system check going all the way through because of just how volatile this machine is. So hers is probably the longest process.
For sure, and
She's
yeah.
not a big fan of how tedious this is.
Yeah, and just going through the number of airlock chambers to keep, if any toxin were to escape from your X10, so it doesn't go out towards the rest of the labs or development centers. The amount of chambers that you have to go through for that is very tedious, and all of you, to an extent, understand, like, different handlers or even the director, like, don't exactly treat you as your own individual, especially for gene belts and rebelts. It's more of, like, treating you kind of like an experiment, which, isn't super great. And at least for yours, Gray, the work with it is meticulous. You are an expensive experiment as far as you can tell. But
all
yeah.
your money on me, please. Thank you.
Do you realize how, oh my god, scientific grants take so much to apply for? But anyway, scientist and me is talking. We're gonna not do that. What about the rest
Scientific
of you?
grants. This is military money.
Yeah, this is military money. We got shit to burn. Just set it on fire in space.
You think, but this is the reach. But anyway, what about the rest of you?
So
What
I
is
think
your,
probably
prep
in
montage?
I think probably in contrast to Gray's, Ava's is kind of in its own little corner, but still mostly with the rest of the X10s. A lot of them end up being a little bit more on the organic side, I believe. In contrast, hers is very sleek. It seems like it's almost entirely synthetic material, more robotic, and it's very elegant and grand. It's got the silver plating with a little bit of a fade into a lilac color for most of it. The distinct feature is that out of the back of what would be the head of the mech is very long, what looks like almost cables in a bright fluorescent kind of purple that light up along with some of the other features and accents on the machine as she approaches. And her rig is actually in the chest of it, so that kind of opens up as she ascends to that with the platform to that point, and just kind of steps in and leans back into the curved chair. This one's got an actual neurojack, so in the back of her, like in the cerebrum, there's a actual point where she can hook up the rig, and there's nodes all along the arms and the fingers, and everything in that. And she's very content just leaning back into it and running systems, getting everything all set up. It's like, oh, it's been a while, girl.
So I think the shot that we get of Cassandra approaching Gunlod is we get like that worm's eye shot where you see like Cassandra framed by this way bigger mech, and the mech has like a humanoid torso. The head is kind of like if you had a dog's head and the gums were peeled back so you could see all the teeth, and that's the big jaw that's like signature to this line of mechs. And it also has these like spider-like eyes all over the top of that head. Instead of having like legs proper, it's got these 4 huge almost like shield panels that have a kind of like face-like motif on each of them, and they're organic, they're chitinous. It's spiky. They look like they're trying to ward off predators with big eyes and scary faces. And as she approaches, the armor of the chest like pulls up, and what almost look like organs or like a tongue unfurls, and she walks up that, and she sits in the cockpit of the mech cross-legged. That tongue pulls back up, and slowly there's this fluid that fills the chamber, kind of like in Evangelion. And she closes her eyes and starts meditating. And a few seconds later, we hear not a voice, but like a deep, low, hungry rumble. And when her eyes open again, the effect is like glowing, as we get this like cross cut of like her eyes opening and glowing, the mech's eyes opening, or not opening, but like activating and glowing.
Yeah, you all have this familiar feeling. You know how it is. Sorry, there's a bird pecking on my window. Great. I was like, what is that sound? But you all are familiar with this feeling of no longer being two separate consciousnesses, or yeah, that's the right word. Two separate beings, but now one singular consciousness. It's comfortable in a way. You'd think being in a metal frame would seem unnatural, but you all just kind of slip into your own X10s very easily. Now, we got a deck of TPK things. Thank you, Echo. Oh my goodness. So I'm just gonna roll that. We're gonna see what happens.
Find out.
I kind of wasn't expecting it, but alright. Let's see what happens. Alright. That's gonna be hard to apply to here. I was granted one reroll from chat. Thank you, Turk. So we're gonna reroll it. Alright.
That's what we call a meta reroll around here.
I like it.
Okay. So I'm gonna play with this a little bit. I actually rolled a natural 20. So that is the salvation card. And the typical text, it's the player character with the lowest current HP is immediately restored to full HP and has resistance, yada yada. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to grant a benefit immediately. I think that's going to be the best way to work with this game. So let me go over to the benefit table. I really should have marked pages for this. Hold on. They're somewhere. Aha! I found it. Right, cool. And I think since we just were in a X10 preparation montage, I think a system benefit would be really cool. So yeah. Tell you what. What do I want to give? Tell you what. I will say, actually, I have to roll 6 to see who even gets this, actually. So we'll do that first. But, yeah, I know what I'm gonna do. Okay, 3. So that is Meg. I'm going to say the system benefit you got is fully charged, as the various wires of the headdress, basically, on your X10 disconnect from the resting place of your X10. You will be granted an extra boost die to use how you wish. Basically a free boost die. You don't have to do anything except roll it if you want.
Hell yeah, thank you.
Alright. Well, cool. Thank you, chat. My gosh. Heck yeah.
I appreciate it.
Heck yeah, that was awesome. Salvation is cool, man. Deck of TPK things, everybody. Okay. So, without further ado then, if there are no conversations you want to have before taking off, we can move to our travel phase.
I do have a thought for what might be said over comms as like we start launching. I think Cassandra is like, all right, we're doing an escort. Our first priority is keeping the goods safe. So nothing too fancy, Eva. Stay safe.
And she'll inside and say, all right, I'll do it the boring way.
And as we start to launch, the boring way consists of Gray as the jester, definitely coming up in her very glittering, like just sparkle mess of stabby pointy bits jester X10 that's drawing all sorts of attention as it starts to take flight, making lots of loud noises as you all are seeing like hers rise outside of the area where everyone else is taking off. Lots of glitter though. Even though I didn't choose the glitter barrage. I could have. That is an option, everyone. I just want you to know that glitter barrage is a thing. So still incorporating glitter. Very important.
It's important.
It's important. Look at me.
As my eyeshadow will tell you, yes, glitter is very important.
That's all what pre-session called was just yelling about glitter.
That's
But-
exactly what it was.
well, cool. Y'all take launch. You take flight, and despite how like lithe and at least comparatively small to typical rockets in the solar system X-10 seem to be, you get through the atmosphere or any gravitational pull very easily, very gracefully. And once you're out there, it's surprising. Once you leave the crowded structures and flotilla of Swan, the reach is actually really beautiful. In Indigo's shadow, the brightest stars shine as you pass, serving almost as beacons to prove that your squad isn't quite alone or as small as it feels like in the vast emptiness. The colorized wavelengths on your comm readers denote your teammates only adds to the glimmering array. Is there anything you would like to do on the way to Lavender? Like any particular maneuvers you want to do? Anything you want to investigate on the way there? Or just talk? Anything you would like to do on the way there?
Are there any of the locations where these disappearances happened kind of like en route for us?
Okay, so you do have the coordinates. Those are something that you have, but are you looking for additional ones to the ones that you have, or?
Well, because we're escorting some goods right now, yeah?
Yeah, they're just like little drones, basically.
Yeah.
It's kind of passengers, but not really.
Yeah. Are they attached to our mechs, or are they like self-propelling?
This would be, I would say they're self.
Okay.
So they're just kind of
Um,
around.
Because I think my instinct would be to look if there's any like places where we know things have disappeared on the way. Just seeing if there's any evidence, any like debris that might still be moving in that area.
Okay. Let's see. Let's see what kind of move I would like you to do there. I would like you to... That sounds like a gained insight, just kind of like seeing what's going on. I like that.
Okay.
And depending on what talent you want to use, of course, the pool will be different. So you want to justify certain talent working for that. Go ahead.
I feel like this is maybe like there's no like scanners stat specifically, but maybe like synchronize or use your head feels right. What do you think?
I would take either of those, honestly.
Okay. I'm gonna do... Yeah. Synchronize.
Okay.
And so I'm gonna take... I have 2 points in that set, so I'm gonna roll my 2d4, and it's a hit on a 4. I got a 2 and a 3, which would mean that I'm falling, but Sarah very kindly gave me a +2 earlier.
Okay.
1 hit.
Alright, you have 1 hit, so you succeed the move. Amazing. There we go. Awesome. So, you make your perfect, like, you synchronize with your X10, almost extending your senses to the radar that detects various threats or just things around you as you're traversing through space. In probably the far distance, more to your left, there are objects that seem to be approaching, and actually kind of rapidly. Not like other X10s or nothing mechanized, but this there's some type of like natural. natural space objects like comets or something that are probably on your way and could very potentially intercept you.
I relay that information to the group. Hey, y'all, keep an eye out. I just did a long-range scan. Looks like there's something headed our way. Doesn't seem like it's mechanical, but keep an eye out for it. Let's make sure these drones stay safe.
You got it, boss.
All right.
You don't have to call me boss.
But if I want to.
All right. And since you succeeded, that was just my flavor text. You can pick one of the following. Get 1 shift when making a future move, using the knowledge gained. Use that information gained to sabotage or maintain or repair a device, or alter information gained and send it back to the sender, causing a disruption. And since this is more of like a natural thing, I don't think the third one will quite apply. But
I think I'll take another shift moving forward.
Okay,
That seems useful.
sounds great. Cool.
Okay, then we're just hanging out, moving forward, escorting these drones, keeping an eye on the potential comets coming in.
I wonder if Homebound's gonna make any sort of moves.
Ooh, or the cosmic embrace.
Oh my god, if the cosmic embrace shows up, I'm gonna need the longest nap when we get home. They're just so exhausting.
Maybe it's exhausting, but it's certainly fun when they're around. I want to take it.
Different definitions of fun.
Oh, come on. Have you seen the goddess? I want to take a crack at that.
The audience at home hears like a stomach rumbling sound. You're making Goodlaw hungry.
Well, cool.
Oh, that's a shame.
So yeah, since you detected this comet storm coming in, these are the beginning remnants that you perceive from the convergence. Since canonically, the convergence is happening really soon. Not entirely sure how fast, but since these effects are already beginning to happen, it's not too strange that they're around. But since you detected this early, you managed to go to one of the various stations kind of floating around one of Lavender's moons or something. And get to watch as this pretty beautiful, from a distance, comet shower or comet storm passes by. Beautiful from a distance, but if you were in it, you probably wouldn't think so. But yeah, that was awesome. That was an awesome success. Well, cool. So yeah, I guess you guys are around Lavender now. I was not expecting an avoidance strategy. That was awesome. So yeah, as you are closer to Lavender, you swear that just looking at this greenhouse planet makes you feel hotter. Just within your various X-10 cockpits. The beautiful purple clouds cover most visibility of its surface, but occasionally you catch a glimpse of the craters, volcanoes, and lava plains that the atmosphere tries to conceal. Luckily, you won't be going near those. As I said before, the crushing gravity and toxic atmosphere of this planet can only be survived by the drones. Speaking of the drones, you follow your coordinates and manage to locate these drones within your radars. Looking from a distance, they seem to be inert, suspended in the space around you. There are a couple larger 1 or 2 person stations just kind of around at more of a distance, but that's kind of where your scene is. What would you like to do?
So you said the drones look inert. Do they look like they're turned off, or like they've been damaged? Is there a reason why they're shut, or why they're kind of stuck.
Yeah. If you get closer, further investigation would show that these do seem to be damaged somehow. There's some type of shell damage, and you kind of look at the structures in the distance around, and there's also a decent amount of damage, and just kind of looking at it, whatever hit these had to have done so with a massive amount of speed and pretty hefty lasers.
I'm gonna try something.
Okay.
I'm going to try to use one of my pilot moves. The machinekin. You are human, but your new form. But with your new form, you're able to communicate with some machines. So, I would like to try to wake one of these drones up.
Okay.
And talk with it to see what happened. If it can give us any intel as to, like, how they ended up in this trash pile in space. Just to sort out what's going on, or even if it could give us a clue as to what we should be on the lookout for.
Okay. Alright, let me pull up talents. Is there a specific talent you wanted to roll for this, or?
Man, if I could speak from the heart. Just kidding.
I mean, if you can justify it. Because, yeah, the move that you're using requires a roll, right? I'm pulling up your playbook.
No, it just says you may use pilot talent, or you may use pilot talents to interact with the machine as if it has advanced enough AI up to 3 times per session.
Okay. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we able to get close enough to, like, attempt repairs? Or would I be able to get close
that
enough
depends
to
on
attempt
how
repair,
close
and
you
then
guys want to get.
Can we do a potential, like, one of us gets out of our mech? Because I love playing to lose.
Oh my god.
Playing to lose in space next to, like, a toxic greenhouse planet that could potentially kill us all.
I don't
I mean,
know
we
if
don't, like, our mechs are too big to initiate any kind of repair on these, right? We gotta...
I mean, that's what the technician drones were for, to repair the drones that are damaged.
Oh,
just to remind you, that's what you were escorting them for.
Okay, so I will take one of the technician drones with me and begin, like, tell it to start doing repairs. And as I support this poor drone that's here, into feeling better, that's what I would ask my question. So, I'm trying to sort out what this would be best for. So, our stats are making out. I'm not gonna make out with this drone. Support, call bullshit, speak from the heart, use your head, and rumble.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like use your head is probably what she's doing right now, but I am also apparently very bad at using my head.
I mean, yeah, like you absolutely could, like, with technical knowledge and stuff, but since you are machine kin, like, I would make a case for speaking from the heart if you want to. Like, I
will speak from my machine heart. I feel bad as part machine that these machines have been harmed, and I would like to help them stay alive for the future. Machines. I am machine. I would like to help these machines. And I guess if she's speaking from the heart, just reaching out and just being like, just starting it off with something as simple as, like, are you okay? Dang it, Vermin. Read that. But just asking, are they okay? Doing a nice family check-in.
Okay. Go ahead and roll that then.
Okay. So what do I need to roll? The higher the better?
So the way this works is rolling a 4 on a D4 is considered a hit. So you need at least 1 4 rolled on this in order to succeed the move.
Okay.
Can I help out?
Can.
Yeah. I think.
Please help.
Yeah, I help. So what I think I'm doing is I'm probably piloting the other drones with because like you need bandwidth to talk the machine, and I imagine I've seen you do this before. I kind of see on my readout like the cycles for the drones is dropping, like it's not getting as many commands. So I just like slide in and take that place, connecting with my machine to connect with the drones, where you're no longer giving them focus, kind of buffeting you as you do it.
Yeah, because I'm focusing on the destroy drones.
Yeah.
I almost said droids. Hello, welcome to Star Wars.
Okay.
No,
This
not
is
allowed.
not the droid you're looking for.
This is not the droid. I'm looking for a drone. So because you helped, does that mean I roll an additional D4? Is that what that is?
Yes.
How does
Yeah.
the
So
help function work?
Vermin would be technically giving you one of her dice if
that's using
that
a
one tick.
connection. If
Or
she's
is-
using the move help out. Actually, I think we should be using, we're doing connecting, terminology,
Yeah,
okay, we got it,
Since we're only at initial spark, which is like the most basic level of relationship, you replace one of your dice with one of mine.
Yeah.
So if you just like have a distinct color for it, that's great. And then the dice that I gave you hits on a 2 and explodes on a 4. So if you roll a 4, you get to roll it again.
Okay. So just re-roll a die. Is that what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna roll my pointiest because I feel like that's what Sarah would want. It actually hurt when I was rolling it in the pile of dice earlier. I was like, sharp, poke. So what happens with the 2?
It counts as a hit.
Yeah.
Excellent. I did it.
Connection
Also,
dice
my
are more
first set
powerful.
was all ones. That's what I was
Oh
like.
my god.
Does someone have help?
All
Just
right.
3 ones. I was like, this is great. This is gonna be a good
Using
day.
your connections is important.
For the viewers at home, there's a specific mechanic if most of your dice are 1s in a roll, and it's called trash.
Yeah,
and I
you
love
become
it.
a trash pilot.
I'm trash.
You're trash. Oh no. But with that connection, you managed to succeed.
Oh, thank goodness.
A narrow success. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, as you are trying to connect with this drone, the technician drone is like kind of working around, trying to fix various things. There's quite a bit. There are pieces missing. It's extensive damage. So once you start reaching out to this thing, you ask if it's okay, and it just kind of stutters an automated message of danger, danger, danger. And as this happens, the drone starts blinking this very uncharacteristic green light, as it sparks and stutters and seems to go on the offensive. And I think that's where we're gonna take our break. About to go into kind of a sortie. But yeah, we're gonna go on a quick break, chat. You won't want to miss this. So
It's about to get weird.
get ready. Cool. Hey guys, we're back. We just had to take a little bit of a break. In the meantime, I hope you got hydrated. I hope you stretched. Just did something nice for yourself, and I don't know, talk about it in chat while we get ready to have our first sortie of the one shot. We did talk about during break, since Corndog or Gray succeeded on the help out roll towards the drone, she gained a benefit. We decided he was very honed into what was going on with the tech here, and can, moving forward, change the results of a rise or a successful roll on a move to sparkling and get extra things for succeeding on the move. But that's what we did during break. So yeah, as you were reaching out to this thing, first it just started with the one, but two other sabotage drones also start to blink with this uncharacteristic green glow, as they all go volatile. And there is
Can I
one.
warn my fellow
Yeah, absolutely. And they
pilots?
would see this. They would see this happening too.
I feel like I warned them like the second I felt like the weird brain energy coming out of it, and then like something is wrong, and then the lights turn green.
Yeah,
and
it's
just
like,
like
oh no,
something is
yeah,
wrong.
something's very wrong. Yeah, there is a haywire drone, one for each of you. So wait, just for chat, a sortie is the way it kind of works is a game of rock paper scissors, except there are different maneuvers that you can take, such as lead, sway, or follow. So the way that I'm doing this, so I'm communicating to my players again, since the moves or the maneuvers have to be declared simultaneously. Before the session, I just wrote out the preset what these things are going to do, so it's just as randomized as what my players are going to say they are using against the drones, just to keep that all fair, because they would be able to do DMs to me if they were fighting against each other, but since it's against me, the Celestial Mistress, that gets kind of funky. So I figured that's how we would do it. But okay. Yeah. I guess oh my gosh, Kat. The order that we could do this in, are all three of you engaging, like one against the other for these drones? Since there are three of them and three of you?
Yeah, I think that works.
Yeah,
Okay.
that makes sense.
Okay, just so we don't have two of you sitting around for the whole sortie. We can just do like one round for each of you and just cut to each until each of the individual ones are done. But another part of the book is deciding how many rounds this sortie should be, how many steps. So this is a pretty quick skirmish, I think, honestly. I would be fine with this being best 2 out of 3, if you guys are cool with that. Okay.
Works for me.
Okay, cool. And then since it's a 3-round thing, I think it's fine for the flourish to happen on the 3rd round if you guys are cool with that. Okay, cool. Alright. Since Gray, you were engaged first, would you like to go first?
Sure,
Alright.
I shall. Can you explain how combat works?
Okay,
Like
yeah, no problem.
The 3 things. I'm trying to find it.
Alright,
and the search
I did
function
make...
is not
Yeah, I did make a quick guide to sorties, just like kind of a 1-page thing. It's pinned in our group chat,
To the pins.
just so you don't have to do a
Black and
search
white
function in the book. Yeah, the black and white.
All right. Okay. I know what I'm gonna do.
Alright. I mean, we can say it at the same time. Like, again, like I've predetermined what these drones are going to do before session. But,
I would like to follow
Okay. So I really should I guess I could just well, I have the other tracks written down here, so that wouldn't work. Never mind. But okay. So as this thing becomes volatile and engaged, it actually takes a aggressive maneuver towards you, but you're able to mimic its movement and do this kind of dance with follow, and actually trump its lead. It was going to start with lead. Okay. All right. So landing this beat with follow means you can deal 1 strain harm if you would like.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I don't take one if I deal it, correct? It's just...
No, you don't take 1. Very specific. Move do specific damage or recover in the terms of swipe. But cool. All right, that is 1 round. 1 beat landed for you out of 3. Okay.
Can I say that it ends with as it kind of is aggressive towards me, dip and dive just a little bit so I can end up behind it and staring at its back, just setting myself up potentially for another turn.
I mean, sure. That's kind of a flavor text thing, I guess. But yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're gonna flavor it real good.
Yeah, and also just as kind of a reminder, just pay attention to if your moves will do anything to change outcomes, because as long as the conditions of a move are met, flourish or not, they can still trigger. If you were gonna take harm of any kind, you could use shield, which is a universal move, just to remind you all to, I don't know, be ready to defend yourselves. But anyway,
so because it took that harm,
mm-hmm.
is it falling now, or is it? How does that work?
Since it's a drone, it's not exactly the same thing. Okay. It's a little different with the NPCs and all of that. But okay.
Neat.
Yeah. All right. As the other 2 nearby drones start to activate in this hostile way, what are the rest of you 2 doing? Who wants to engage first? If you are.
If you're ready, go for it.
I'm fine with going ahead and doing that. I did want to ask a question first. These are drones that we are familiar with, right?
Yeah, you'd have an understanding of them. You've been around enough to know that they can be really dangerous.
So overall, how do they function?
I mean,
is it a long range laser? Is it close up? What's up with these guys?
They have kind of a series of defenses. Mostly close range, though. If something is invading, they can detect it very quickly and sometimes actually link up together to form a defense against whatever's trying to come near. There probably are certain modifications of drones that could do long range, but these since they're just remote drones to help with mining efforts on Lavender, pretty basic defenses.
Okay, so they're mostly close range then? Okay. Then I am going to... Let's shoot for a lead. Ava's a little bit of a hothead. She would go first. She would try to go first anyway.
Yeah. All right. Let's look at my track 2 here. So as you start to charge in, the AI or whatever automated system of this drone's defense actually manages to be out of the way and match you with a follow. So that's actually one for the drone there. Okay. So yeah, it's a drone. It's just gonna deal the harm. So that is 1 strain harm to you.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you have moves in between rounds, again, just think about it. Okay.
It groans over the comms. Like, drones are so fucking annoying.
Yeah. Okay. That leads us to Cassandra.
So Cassandra like snaps out a little what looks like a baton at first, and then it unfolds, and the end like snap hisses like a lightsaber, and suddenly she's got like a light glaive, and she's just gonna like try to drive it down on the drone in front of her.
All right.
A lead, not a follow. A lead.
Okay. Okay. You try to arc down onto this drone, just basic like anime chop, very powerfully. But it manages to detect the arc of your swing and follow upward and go right towards the top of your X10. That is a follow on its part. Yeah, one strain harm to you as well. Okay. Yeah, those seem to be on almost similar wavelengths, just a little bit. Okay. That brings us back. We're cutting back to the fight with Gray.
Gray was initially thinking about injecting a psychoactive venom, but there's not a person inside of this, so that's not going to do much. So instead of using her neurotoxic nails, neuronanotox nails, she is going to bust out her distortion whip, and she is just going to do her best to just whip the shit out of this drone and wrap it around what would be kind of where she believes the hard drive would be. Like, if these are drones that have like heads, and we just anticipate the head being where the computer is, she's going directly for that and attempts to use the distortion whip to send an electrocurrent through it to just shut it down again.
Dang.
Like, oops,
okay.
Turn off. Oops.
Oops.
Turned on.
Okay. So are you doing?
In this game.
Yeah.
Are you doing?
I'm going to lead.
You're gonna lead? Okay, I like it.
I'm gonna lead from behind.
Okay. So yeah, as you take out your whip and try to just coil as much as this electrical force around this thing, it almost these are kind of spherical looking drones, almost like turns back, so the main like singular eye light is looking back at you, and you both connect at the same time. Both of you chose lead, so technically both of you land and may deal 1 shell harm. If you would like to deal 1 shell harm to this, you can, and it will also deal 1 to you.
We didn't want to damage, to really destroy these, right? Like, the mission objective was to salvage these and make this run again.
I mean, technically it was just to escort the technician drones. Like, if these things are volatile,
escort them and find out what was going on.
Yeah, like if
yeah, then I'm gonna throw down that harm.
Alright.
And then I take shell harm too.
1 shell harm.
There's 2 beats for Gray, which means I think you win that one.
Although it's not the sortie isn't technically over until all of the rounds are done. Because these drones are still just gonna go. They just play to hurt. But Yeah,
So
you could
you
succeed
are.
against you could succeed against that and save yourself the shell harm. But okay. Back to Eva was next. So what you doing?
Okay, so I am going to end up throwing down a follow where she kind of moves back a bit, and I'm gonna. This move technically is supposed to be used against another X10 in the pilot, but I want to see if I can flavor it a little bit with Medusa's gaze, where some of the tendrils, the long cables from the back of the head, whip around and zero in on this drone and just kind of throws out a frequency to try to make it stutter, kind of interfere with the signal it's trying to put out and give commands to attack.
Okay.
If you're amicable to altering that a little bit.
Okay. Could you read the exact wording for it?
Your gaze sears into your rival's X10, their body locks into place, unable to move. The victim is effectively paralyzed, but can force themselves to take steps or make moves by taking one strain for each motion being made. The effect persists until your victim is directly assisted in some way.
Okay. I will say, just because there isn't a precise trigger yet for that, I'm gonna say using that in between beats right now probably wouldn't work, but if you land the third beat, that is absolutely something that you could do.
Okay. Then how's that play out with the follow versus their what was the drone's thing
What do you mean?
for this exchange?
Well, for this exchange, like I'm saying that like using the move in between these wouldn't exactly work, so you'd still have to choose one of the three for this round.
I was going with the follow.
Oh, you're going with follow? Okay. I didn't hear that. Okay, cool. Okay. So, as you kind of assess this thing's advances and how the other ones are looking, with the multiple eyes that are at the ends of these wires, you're able to anticipate what the drone is going to do next, and are able to again match its movements and beat its lead. Very good. Okay, so yeah, that means you can deal 1 strain harm to this, and yeah, you get 1 out of 3 rounds.
Yeah, 1 for 1.
Very nice.
So I think over in Cassandra's zone, after getting hit, or after that attack, I think she like pulls back in her mech and starts moving those big face-looking shields around the front of her mech, kind of trying to make it as unpredictable for the bot as possible, trying to bait it into getting close. So I think she's going to be swaying here.
Alrighty. Let me see. Gotta go back to my quick guide here. Okay. As you are looking around, still blade probably brandished, and making things confusing for this drone to follow and focus on. Yeah, you managed to sway out of the way and beat its follow. Very good. Let's see. Okay. So that means you may recover 1 shell harm if you have that. I think you had strain though. Unfortunate. But yeah, awesome. That's awesome. Okay, cool. Going back to Gray in the final round. You've already won the story, but it's stuttering and still just trying to fight its way around and maybe defend something, but something seems hijacked. Something seems off.
Can you explain to me what sway does?
So sway is more of an indirect and elusive maneuver, so that's kind of like an evasion
Okay.
kind of thing, and that would be the thing that lands to follow. So that's, like rock beating scissors, basically.
If I were to I'm trying to figure out how, like, the best way to describe this between the three options. I want to use my whip and, like, pull it in close to me and reach out with my nanotoxic nails that can just, like, pierce through the outside of this droid's, like, casing and stuff like that in attempts to find its mainframe, its brain, its whatever it had going on that could have seen what happened before this, like the moments that you save in your brain when you have like a near-death experience or something like that. See if there's something like that saved inside of this drone where it's like, oh god, I've changed completely. Like, what happened in that 30 seconds beforehand?
Okay. Honestly, I could see anything. It depends
like,
on,
reach in and grab it and pull it out. Since I'm so, especially me, I'm just so familiar with machines.
Yeah.
As I am part machine myself.
Mm-hmm. It also very much depends on how many of whichever thing you have left, like how many leads versus how many follows versus how many sways on your character sheet. I have not been keeping track of that, so I hope you guys have.
I have.
I've got
Okay.
I don't have any more leads left. I have a follow and a sway.
Okay. Honestly, I think either. Once the fight's done, because like you already have 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
I would say we could do like an insight or something like that.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go follow.
Okay.
As I like pull it in and just kind of like watch and like look at the frame. And just kind of use my whip to pull it across and just find that soft spot. Just really taking in the drone's body.
Okay. As you do that, and again, kind of using this whip is almost like a restraint, so it doesn't continue to attack you while you're trying to assess this. You just follow, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. My brain. Imagine not having the attention span of a goldfish. Okay. You both actually managed to kind of stay around each other, just going in a circle. And as this distortion whip continues to fry it, eventually just kind of deactivates, and you both chose follow. So that means the 2 of you curtsy. And that match. That sortie is done. As this happens, you as an X-10 pilot are used to something that is called memory bleed, where if you have a passenger or you are a passenger and an X-10, there's this shared consciousness of like seeing memories that either you have experienced if you were the one piloting, or the pilot has experienced if you were a passenger. Just kind of there's a bleed in between the two, and you see kind of into that pilot's consciousness. But you've only felt that inside an X-10. You've never felt that from something outer. But that's the most analogous you can make what this feeling is when you take down this drone. You have this like staticky, almost choppy vision of a growing puddle of what looks like X-10 transmission fluid, or no, maybe that's blood. Maybe that's both. And then the vision stutters back out. But yeah, okay. That finishes that sortie. Very good. Let's go back over to Eva.
Okay, so all I have left is sway, so we'll just go ahead and call that out now.
All right.
And we'll finagle that with she's mostly just trying to keep out of this thing's reach, while the tendrils are moving around trying to take shots at it.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, as you are doing sway, there almost seemed to be some type of miscalculation with the drone too that also does a sway. The two of you actually curtsy as well.
Ooh, which means I can invoke something here.
You can. You landed a beat, so you can use a move on that flourish.
Well, I can use a move on the flourish, but I also have opportunity strikes,
Ooh, okay.
which is during a sortie, you may pirouette, turning a curtsy into a beat. So
Amazing. I love it. Yes.
taking that beat, taking my flourish, I'm frying the hell out of this.
Yes. We love it.
Hell yeah. So the tendrils just all light up that bright purple, and you probably sense it more than you see it. It's a bit of an energy that kind of ripples and almost like static across the cores and freezes this drone, and it seems like it's pretty much frying from the inside out.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, like both of you, yeah, have essentially fried this thing one way or another. These things, they were already inert before, but they absolutely are not coming back after this. There might be a little explaining to do to the higher-ups later, but not too much explaining. They went volatile. They haven't been repaired for a very long time.
So it'd have been a lot more fun if they were pilots.
Yeah, but as you do so, almost simultaneously with Gray taking out their drone, you have a similar experience of like this strange, like almost outer memory bleed. In this case, you have a similar stuttering, kind of staticky vision of a shadow moving along broken structures in a strange, like sparkling, almost ethereal kind of medium. Yeah, that's second sortie down, and my cat is walking onto my desk. This is fine. She's committing baby crimes. All right. She moved my lamp, I swear. Cassandra, what you doing?
Okay, so I have these like shield pods, and up until now we haven't seen the back of them. So she flips those out, and there are tons of these little pods, like 30, 50, somewhere in that range, and they will shoot out. And if you've ever seen Gun and Unicorn, it's like the NZ666 Kshatriya. This laser grid of all of these little pods starts like slicing through the air, trying to cut the drone down. And I'm gonna do my last lead.
Alrighty. So, as you unleash this power from your X10, the drone actually does very similarly, just go head on to it, also to the lead. Yeah, you both land that then.
Okay, so that means I get to flourish.
You do.
I'd love to do the thing that I feel like we've been leading up to a little bit. I'm gonna activate my X10 move, Crush and Devour.
Yes.
Excellent.
Take a pilot hindrance, which I'll do in a minute.
Fair enough.
And so I fly into a fit of rage, and the ogress pulls apart and partially eats your opponent. They take 3 shell harm. I think what this looks like, if you've ever seen a like a starfish opening up a like a clam or a mussel. These like 4 leg parts move so that they are down near the head, and it like pierces the outer shell of this drone and like peels it like an egg. And that jaw that we saw in that first sort of image, it opens up wider than it should be able to, and the teeth and the mouth seem to extend further than they actually exist as it reaches inside the drone and just like pulls cables and printed circuits and everything out from the inside.
We love to see it. But yeah,
And I'm taking the pilot hindrance.
all right. Yeah, and we decide that together. So yeah, full show. I'm pretty sure that's how hindrances work.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't think I just granted. That doesn't sound right.
You negotiate.
Well,
Yeah, we negotiated.
Because I feel like it's probably something in the area of like weakened, or like agitated. Is there one that you prefer for me to take?
I would say out of the two of those, since you've taken some harm and now have like consumed something, I would say you're more on the agitated side. That was my feeling at least. But we will say with agitating at least, I think the hindrance there mechanically will be a -1 from your dice pool when connecting. At least until you calm down a little bit. Calm down from the agitation and restlessness of consuming something. You are raging. I love it. But yeah.
I think overcomes the other two once like it goes still. You just hear like really labored breathing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as again, like since you were taking out all these cables and just various energy and electricity kind of coursing through your X10, most of it's shunted. But as that happens, you also have a similar kind of stuttering vision. In your case, a crystalline hand reaching out from below some type of like planar surface, like almost as if like there's a hand reaching up out from like beneath water, basically.
Well, that was certainly a display, Cass.
I told you you were making it hungry.
You all right?
No. And there's like, I think the like visual monitor, there's like a stutter in it, and for like half a second you see Cass's face, like twisted monstrous, like long teeth, for like this like glimpse as the X10 is like broadcasting its own image of her over your like communications.
Say, in contrast to that, you just kind of see a little bit of a viper-like smirk. It's like scary. I like it. Okay, are we gonna address something here? Did anybody else see something weird?
I thought it was just because of Gunlad eating it, but yeah, I saw something.
Yeah, I thought it was neurotoxins released in my suit again, but if you guys also saw something weird...
Well, I'm used to some sort of feedback, but that's only with people, not machines. So, what did you guys see?
A hand coming up from pilot space, I think.
Some type of planar surface. Now, the more that you reflect on it, I would say, you would have at least a passing knowledge of what's called subspace. Is right below top space, and it's just, yeah, kind of a strange place that people don't go to for a very long time because things get really distorted there.
There was a hand coming up. It looked like it came from subspace.
I saw a pilot or an X-10 or both possibly bleeding or leaking. I'm not really sure what it was or where it was. And then she just like checks herself to make sure it's not her and that this wasn't like a weird like
out of body experience.
What is this disconnect?
Ah!
What I saw was this shimmering, ethereal kind of shadow going over. What was it the bots that it went over? Or was it just
It wasn't the bots, it was like along these like kind of just series of different broken structures, like not even just like space, but like you look at concrete and bent metal of some sort and things like that, and that sparkling ethereal medium does kind of match what Cassandra was saying about kind of what subspace looks like.
I guess it might have been something like your subspace, but it went over broken metal, concrete, something you would see on Cerelia. Not a station or a droid. It was very odd.
Do you think there's something in subspace near here?
There very well could be.
maybe something reaching out of subspace.
Maybe trapped in there? A pilot?
Yeah, an X-10.
And there's this moment of like the good mod like looking between your two mechs. So are we going?
The Viper grin kind of spreads, like, who wants to take a dip?
To subspace?
Why not? We were told to investigate what
Why
happened.
not? There's plenty of reasons as to why not.
We were told to investigate what happened to the drones.
Well, we were told to get these drones here so they could do their jobs.
And they're here.
And investigate a little bit if we felt safe.
What, are you
up
scared?
for it?
Am I
approaches at the same time?
Am I scared? Yes. Yes, I'm scared. People come back from subspace all sorts of fucked up. And if you haven't noticed, and like the entire right side of her body starts like wiggling in the X-10, and like you guys just see it all waving. Already been fucked up once. I don't necessarily need to do it again.
They tell us an hour before you start really dealing with the bad side effects. We should be fine if we go for a little while.
Hold on. There's
There a move any of you would like to do? Or not?
yeah, I feel like the thing that I want to do here is I want to like open up the front of my mech and try to like get as close as I can to sorry, Corndog, what's your character's name?
Gray. And my
Gray.
next name is Eris.
Eris. I remembered that. Yeah, Gray. So I think I like open my hatch and I'm trying to get close to Gray and just like talk you through it and calm you down and like be a physical presence if you'll open your cockpit as well.
Opening cockpits in space. She won't at first. The cockpit stays close, and like in the comms, you can like you hear dead silence, and then all of a sudden you just hear fine, and like the door like slowly creeps open, and it's just head flop to the side. What?
So I think Cassandra glides the short distance between you and like lands, braces herself with like a hand on your shoulder, close, and says, like, comes close to your ear and says, "You don't have to do anything that you don't want to. We can take care of this if you need to stay behind." And I think that makes sense as like a speak from the heart, I think.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Cool. So I'm gonna get close and speak from the heart. The thing that frustrates me is I want it to be making out because I have a bunch of cool abilities to around making out. So I wonder if it could be like really like physically like holding you, talking to you softly, and then like a kiss on the forehead, if that's cool with you.
Yeah.
Okay. Not only do I get an extra die, but if you would like, we can now be psychically connected, and I can clear. Yeah. I don't know if I have to. We'll get to this in a second. I'm gonna spend my boost chip to get a D8
Okay.
because I want this to succeed.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I get a crash chip. It's fine.
Oh, this is great. I rolled an 8 and then a bunch of other garbage, but I think that counts as 2 hits.
It does.
Sick. Yeah, so I do it.
Alright.
It's not sparkling, but oh no, I lost the move. Okay.
So yeah, Rising gives at least for Get Close, one of the following options. I tell you a secret, something close to my heart. I give you something that I think you want, or I tell you to slow down. And you two pick that between each other.
I feel like a secret is appropriate here.
Sure. Who's telling who a secret? Am I telling you a secret?
I think I'm telling you a secret.
Secrets.
Secrets.
And it.
Sorry.
Okay, so part of what I whisper to you is, when I was early on in my training, they had us go into subspace a lot. I got some of my abilities from traversing it beyond an hour. I can help get you out if something goes wrong. I don't want anything to happen to you. Oh no, I'd have to take a pilot hindrance to do that. I'm gonna do it. So I have an ability called I Hate to See You Like This. I'm gonna take a pilot hindrance to stop your lasting damage, whatever it might be, from being aggravated for the rest of the session. Do you have lasting damage to start with?
No, I don't think anyone had lasting damage to start with. Yeah, I don't think we
It's
got
me.
that
It's just
spicy.
me.
Oh, it's just you.
I
don't think we got
experienced
that
sensory
spicy.
overloads,
Oh my
just
god.
so you know. Okay, then instead you can clear 2 strain, and we have a psychic link.
I
It
don't
doesn't say when that
have
ends.
any strain.
That's
But
fine.
I have a shell. Just kidding. I will sort the shell harm on my own.
We
Yeah, you have a
psychic
fun
link
move for
now,
that.
so we can communicate telepathically when we go under.
All right. I'll come with. But shit goes haywire. I'm throwing both of you out of subspace.
I'll be the first in, and I'll be the last out.
You say that, but missions have gone wrong before. All right, get back in your mech. Like,
and I'm shoved, and I like kind of follow like the umbilical back to my back.
Imagine that with a once the mechs got close and you guys actually opened the cockpit, Ava was like, "Oh, this looks like a private conversation."
Oh.
That you can hear completely over the comms because I still don't know how to turn mine off.
I'm just tuning out because I am actually going to make an attempt to reach out. So you guys are doing that.
Oh, okay. Talking
I'm
to
gonna
the
fall.
celestial mistress. Let's go.
You guys are doing that, and I'm gonna fall back a little bit and reevaluate this, like thinking about how this hand reaching out seems a lot like the cosmic embrace, and it's just gonna kind of meditate on that and just try to fall back into the violet realm and see if we can glean anything else and try to put together what these visions might mean.
All right. So what are you gonna roll for that? What talent?
I think the only one that makes sense for it might be use your head, because I am trying.
Yeah,
to
just kind of getting into your head.
piece it
That was
together.
what my suggestion would have been.
And what did the boost die hit on again? Is it 4, 6, and 8?
It's included in your pilot sheet too, if you
Is
ever
it?
need to reference it. Yeah.
We'll borrow that fully charged and give that a go.
Thank you, TPK deck. No strings attached.
Thank you, TPK deck. Because I only have one dice, so I might as well make it one that I have a better chance of hitting on.
That's fair.
Let's see. That is a... Well, it's a 5, unfortunately, so...
Ooh. Okay.
If I take both of my +2s, does it make it?
I mean, do you have 2 + 2s?
I do have 2 +2s.
You know,
Because Sarah and Phil both gave me 1.
I mean, we've stacked them before, and I think that's fun, so I'm gonna allow it.
You know what? Fuck it. Why not?
I'm
Let's go.
fine if you wanna spend both +2s.
Let's do it
I'll
all in
allow
one
it.
fell swoop. Let's go.
Okay. Because like I know GMs have granted me stacking +2s before, and I think that's just really fun.
Hey, GM, tell me what's going on.
Okay. Hey, because like, hey, chat spent the time, the points on it. Why not? Okay. So, you do make contact with the figure behind these gossamer violet curtains within the violet realm, receding back into your own mind. And you may ask her one question. She will answer honestly. However, be aware that the mistress is not totally omniscient. She will usually know what people are doing, but not necessarily what they're thinking. So, yeah, there are some example questions there. You don't have to stick to those if you don't want. But there are some. Like, where can I find X? What does X mean? Is X safe? Can I trust X? Why is X doing X? Or what is happening to me?
Let's go with... What is the source of these visions?
Okay. As you continue to recede back further into your mind and speak this question into existence within your consciousness, the source of these visions begins to get these flashes of green again. You think about subspace again. And then you recall like some very like just passing information that you've gotten. Again, just like mostly myths. Honestly, myths from the higher ups or other extant pilots just shooting the shit and talking of these beings called Fathomers. They are previous X-10 pilots that through one way or another, whether it was through experimental X-10s or just being caught in subspace for too long, basically drowned underneath that surface between subspace and top space. And something tells you, it just, even though those are myths, there's something that has to do with it. And that seems to be a primary source, even though, like, again, that conflicts with pretty much all knowledge you've been given. Fathomers have something to do with it.
Okay. Joe, and I imagine that the whole time that this meditation is going on, her mech just kind of curls into itself, almost into like the fetal position. The arms and the legs are tucked in, and the cables have wrapped around, almost like they're feeling out into space. And she pulls back out and relaxes and straightens up, and we want to say that happens about the same time that you guys are finishing your conversation, or maybe a little bit longer. What do you guys think?
I'd say it's probably like around the same time as we're finishing up, like with our conversation, and like you just kind of like the moment of like the fluttering eyelashes as they open up, see a nice gentle shove of Cassandra out the door, or out like the chest cavity of my mech back to hers.
Okay. Then I'll pull the comms back up and reach out and like, did we have a nice moment?
Well, it's fine. Don't be an asshole.
No, I think it's really cute. So I did a little bit of diving into the Violet realm. And okay, you guys are probably going to, and Gray, promise me right now, you're not gonna freak out. Promise me. No, don't give me that look. Just
No, I'll do my best. But there's weird shit going on in here.
There's a lot of weird shit going on in here, and it's gonna get a little bit weirder. You guys remember all those, like the myths and those things that float around in the station about Fathomers?
Yeah?
The reason why they tell us we can't go into subspace for very long?
Oh.
What do you think of the idea that maybe, like what you suggested, Gray, it's somebody lost down there reaching out? I don't know what kind of an X-10 or a pilot would be able to actually override any technology or cause damage like that from subspace, but stranger things have happened.
That's plausible.
Yeah, Cosmic Embrace is a lot of weird suits.
I still want to see one of those in action.
I mean, I feel like it could be one of them. If it is an X-10 pilot that's bleeding out, at least we tend to keep decent track of our pilots. I don't know what the other factions are like about that, but have we heard of anyone from our faction going missing in subspace?
Is that a
Not.
question that you're posing to us?
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's a question initially
It's
posed
for everybody.
to Heck, because I was looking at Heck on my screen, but you
we
cannot
can't see that.
see.
We
who
can't
I'm staring
determine
at.
that.
Yeah, no one can. I'm looking into Heck's eyes. I know I'm asking Heck. But it could be anyone, really. If others have an idea of like where we could, if we know about our potential comrades floating into subspace and not coming back out.
I mean,
So,
it's kept. Yeah, it's when an X-10 pilot goes out of commission, or it does not come back. It's usually kept like pretty hush hush, or like it's just kind of disregarded completely because again, a lot of Reach or X-10 pilots of the Reach are kind of treated as experiments. They're just not really regarded a whole lot. You're not really sure which ones could have gotten lost in subspace or some other incident happened. At least like recently. Actually, tell you what.
and this is what I was gonna say, which is that doesn't time in subspace get super wonky?
It gets very distorted, which is kind of like another thing where I tell you what, I am gonna have, if you would like to roll to gain insight and maybe try to like recall information, I think that's going to be the best option here, to learn more information. Actually, that one makes sense. Gain insight. We'll just, if you're gonna ask, that we'll consider that your question. Tell you what, we'll just do a reach out.
So reach out to the Celestial Mistress.
Reach out to the Celestial Mistress by making out.
What?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna make out with the Celestial Mistress.
Oh.
I'm gonna call bullshit
Make it out
with the
with the
Celestial
lady
Mistress.
I know.
I'm gonna rumble with the Celestial Mistress.
Do you want to? I have a crash chip now.
No.
God.
Uh,
I love the texture of that, just being able to like fight the god sitting in the back of the mind.
it's one of my worst stats, but I'm going to use my head.
Okay.
Mainly because I don't know that Gray would be too concerned about other pilots going missing. I think she would be kind of like, oh, well, that was almost me. Sucks. And like continue on with her day. Like it wouldn't be something that she'd be too stressed about just because we're all gonna die at some point. So I get one die, one opportunity, extra pokey. That is a 1.
Okay. Do you
All my
have,
dice are
Are
trash.
there any connection dice that might want to be
Oh no.
given here or not?
I don't know if this counts as the
Just
same scene as the last
let
one or
me
not.
fail. Just let me be trash. Okay? It's okay to be trash every now and then.
Are
That's
you sure?
a lesson everyone should take from this. It's okay to be trash.
Being
I mean,
trash.
you could take a falling move if you wanted to. That's how that works, right? Because it's either
no.
get worse, which
Ask
leads
me?
to trash.
I don't know diddly.
I'm asking the other people who have eyes on the roll.
Bold of you to assume I have the rule
A
book
bu-
open.
I think you have the choice
okay, so
between
the
the two
trash effect
things.
for reaching out to the Celestial Mistress is you lose something of yours in the Violet Realm. It may be physical or metaphysical. Either way, you can never get it back.
Oh no. Do you want a connection now?
What's something of mine I could lose?
Your robot arm? I don't know.
No! I must keep all my robot arms.
Can't replace those.
What if?
Funny enough.
Can I propose something here that's weird and fun, maybe?
I appreciate weird and fun.
What you got?
What if we did like the Celestial Mistress like takes your eye but you don't. It's not like a permanent harm where you would go blind. You can see out of it, but like so can the celestial mistress at all times.
Ooh.
Oh, I actually really like that. I fuck
Gonna
with
be
that.
eyes for the gods. Do it, Heck. Feed into it.
You know what?
I see you wanting to.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Hey.
Yeet. We're not gonna
Yeet.
yeet the eye though.
It's gonna
that's
be
mine.
my right eye.
That's a yoink.
If that's the eye that I'm losing,
Sure.
because that would make sense with all the bullshit happening on the right side of my body. I am experiment.
All right. Oh, cool.
Okay, so what I specifically imagine this looks like now is like where your eye was. It's like that purple like nebula with like sparkles in it, like you're looking into like one of those like purple jelly.
Yeah, it's like almost. Yeah, it's like you.
Just what Gray wanted. More reasons to have attention.
Yeah, it's basically like at this point like kind of a peephole into the violet realm, if that makes sense, because like your brain's right behind it. I like that. I fuck with that. But okay. Yeah, I think
I have a jar.
yeah,
I have a
before
jar.
yeah, before we do like more preparation to, it sounds like you guys are probably gonna enter
No.
subspace. Oh my god.
There's the violet
Yes,
realm.
violet realm.
Man, the next time I come out of my mech suit, y'all are gonna be like, "What's happening?"
What the fuck?
The
out of my
best is like,
X10 and
do
it's
you
just-
even know? Do you even know this happened?
This one might be closer.
Aw.
Oh, I love that. I love that so
Envious.
much.
Sorry, I just had to. I had them sitting behind me.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys are going to probably want to enter subspace. So like before we go to the next scene or the next location, I suggest we probably take a break, another intermission. So chat has a chance to hydrate and stuff. We get a chance to hydrate and stuff, and
Hydrate
Yeah.
before you dihydrate.
exactly. And we're back. Hey everybody, hope you had a good break. We were just hydrating and stretching like all of you should in chat, and entering the last leg of our adventure here. So yeah, it sounds like you guys are preparing to head into subspace. Is there anything you would like to do before that?
Ava's pretty much just ready to go, so geared up, prepping things.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think we go through like a little checklist. Like we have like our starting checklist, and then there's like a protocol for when you're going to go into subspace. Like
Yeah.
maybe we like drop a time-stamped beacon behind
I like-
us.
I like the idea that Cassandra is just very diligently reading through everything over the comms.
Buy the book, buy the manual. Yes.
Someone's gotta be.
But speaking about you, Neon Lance Roleplay, thank you for the 100 bits. What we decided to do with that, to change it to this game, is removing one shell harm from Corndog's character, Gray. So thank you very much for the bits. That is your effect being used.
My accent is no longer leaking inside of my suit with me.
But yeah. Well, cool. I'm going back up to the moves because I believe there actually is a certain move to getting into subspace.
Yeah, there is.
There is.
And it's called
Launch.
Oh wow, I just blew right past it. There we go.
So yeah, not all of you have to make it. It can just be one person, if you'd like.
What do we need to roll for it? It just says.
It's an extension move, so any one of you could do it because that's something that all of you have access to. But
The
depending
thing
on
that makes the most sense is probably draw near.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, yeah, I've got spank loads of draw near. I want to really fuck with gravity.
I've got some too. I have 3.
I've got 4 draw near.
Dang.
I really like
Okay.
playing with gravity.
You really, yeah,
Congratulations,
you like
have
warping
volunteered
stuff to
yourself
work
for the
with you.
job.
Dang. Okay.
All right.
The one who
Let's-
didn't want to go into subspace is
Nope.
initiating it.
I'm guessing it's because like she's already been there and it wasn't a good time the first trip when toxins got loose inside of her suit, and we're just gonna do it again.
Fuck.
Hey kids, don't play with gravity wells. This is why.
Becomes the new spokesperson.
I rolled 3 4s and a 2.
Hey.
That's a sparkle. Oh shit.
I'm smart.
We got one. We got one. We got one, boys. If you succeeded, you technically like you. I think you still have a benefit that lets you do that, but you didn't even need that benefit. You did it. Amazing. Okay, so
Fucking
that
all the
extra
gravity.
stuff. That's a different list. So for chat, the launch is when you jet from location to location or dip into subspace, like we're doing here, to traverse or explore. There's a risk. Open up your violet core and launch. The violet core being like the power system in the middle of X10s. So the sparkling list, when using draw near specifically, you are able to briefly explore some kind of subspace ruin, but need to quickly leave to avoid excessive time dilation. There's a track under that. Each time you mark this track, you are able to explore a little further. Once the track is full, it resets, allowing you to more or less safely explore a new anomaly. And the other was using distance, so that doesn't apply there. But then, of course, there's still the rising list, where you pick one of the following. You are able to spot any obvious threats and remain unnoticed for the moment, gaining 1 shift on the next move you make before a sortie. If there are any threats, you can charge in using hurt with 1 shift for your victim can initiate their step cycle. You're able to take a breath, recover 1 strain, or you may spend a boost chip to oh, you already have it sparkling, so 4th, that doesn't even work. Yeah, it's a lot. Definitely look at the list if you can in the book, or I can maybe screenshot this because it's a lot to choose from. Yeah, I'm gonna just screenshot this and put it in our chat.
And that is exclusive to Gray, right? That's exclusive to Gray? The choices?
Yes, since she did the move, this is
Got you.
This is Gray's show.
mm-hmm.
We're all about it here. Pop off, Gray.
Alright, did you post it? Here we go.
Yeah, I just posted it.
Treasure.
So the last option probably doesn't
Can
apply.
you send the sparkling ones too? I don't know why I'm not finding it.
Oh yeah, I got you. Yeah, there's only one that at least applies to the draw near move, so the draw near talent, so I'll just put that in there so you have that moving forward if you would like to use it, since you rolled a sparkling. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Let's do the sparkling bit. You're able to briefly explore subspace.
Okay. I think what it means, like, that's in addition to picking the one rising.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Because, yeah, getting 3 hits on something is hard.
Man, I went from being trash to sparkling.
Look at
just
you.
Like that.
Look at you
Pop
go.
it.
Look at this character growth.
Pop it
Everyone.
So yeah, the
I
last
feel
one
like
doesn't
it's gonna
quite
be,
work.
It's going to be the. I'm going to do the first one.
Okay.
From the Rising. You're able to spot any obvious threats, because as I pull my friends in, literally pull their X10s toward me, because I'm like, gravity wells, get fucked, holding them in, and then once we hit subspace, I'm instantly going to be looking out for weird shit, because they're like, let's find this person, and I'm like, what here is trying to fuck us right now?
That's very fair. That is a
Not
valid
in
concern.
a pleasant way, so I am concerned. Sorry, I really enunciated your name while you were
Listen.
doing it, but
It me, you know.
I'm
Anyway.
concerned. I am scared.
Oh, this is very good. This is very good. Okay. So, yeah, moving forward, you all just kind of stay within Gray's wake as she delves into subspace. Like, it seriously feels like almost like a gravitational change between going from air to water, but exaggerated, tenfold. As you enter from top space to subspace, actually, how are y'all just kind of feeling? What are your kind of emotional states at?
There's still that vibrating irritation from earlier, still sort of affecting Cassandra.
Okay. Yeah, the two of you notice Cassandra's X10 form almost have this kind of this halo of kind of around it, almost kind of a pinkish but more towards red. You get the feeling that emotions are amplified in this area by quite a bit, and you can actually kind of see it in almost wavelength and light manifestations if you're in the right angle. Yeah, how the other two of you feeling?
I think it would be less of a light thing and more of, so my X10 is angular and very sharp and shimmering, hence the glitter. But once we get down here, things just start to twitch, and it just gets more and more twitchy as she's just anxious inside of it. What is happening? So it's almost dangerous to be near her, because you don't know if you're going to get smacked by a piece of machinery, and it, instead of it just being kind of when you start to feel that rattling in your car while you're driving down the road, you're like, oh no. It's full on pieces of her mech are moving. So this X10 is actually shifting as she's
so it's
anxious
actually moving,
and
it's not just glitching.
Yeah, yep. So similar to how I have an essential tremor that is now being extended outside of the body, but in much more dramatic ways. So instead of the aura that we're getting from Cassandra, it's things are just twitching back and forth.
Okay. So then, as far as what's going on with Ava entering subspace, this is probably a little bit more vocal. Just over the comms and even just on the proxy cam, it just kind of comes across as a bit of a gleeful, mad laugh. Just, this is exhilarating. And she is absolutely enthralled by it, and her mech is just kind of twirling, just taking everything in as that laugh kind of continues.
Yeah, that's really wholesome. That's very gleeful. I like this a lot. Yeah, the feedback or exhaust kind of exuding from Eva's X10. Just kind of like, it's almost like, yeah, this purple shimmer that just kind of sparkles off eventually. Yeah, very cool. Right, as you enter subspace, you all have varying degrees of experience being here. The Reach has only been seldom interested in it because of its tendency to, distort time if you stay there too long. And, from myths that people have gone missing. But after a fair amount of travel, just kind of staying kind of around the surface so you get a good view of like what's beneath, which is, yeah, again, this strange assortment of more broken drones, but these look very beyond repair, very inactive, not like the ones that you fought before. Just various structures that are in crazy disrepair, and maybe from the future, maybe from the past. Again, time works really weirdly here. But you also look at a nice view of the surface, staying kind of in between. After a fair amount of travel, you actually see, like at the surface that separates top space from subspace, a almost halo of greenish light that seems to blur and bleed between the two planar surfaces.
Verse space.
Ooh, I think we might have an idea of where our culprit is.
I'm still dying. I'm sorry. Is there anything you all would like to do?
I want to go check out the green shimmer.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually check in with the other two to see if they notice the green shimmer or if I have sprung a leak inside my X10.
I think there's this moment of, because we're now like telepathically connected, you like start feeling that thought, and immediately just like that like tendril of thinking comes and like calms you and is like, no, it's there.
Okay. Wouldn't be the first time this month.
That's not good.
No, just
This is not ideal.
booked.
Oh, cool.
No, you guys have your telepathic communication. Ava's kind of like, oh, looks like we have an idea of where our culprit's coming from, and is actually just going ahead and moving towards the shimmer.
Yeah. I follow in the Gunlod, and like where before I was just kind of floating, now like those shields are moving like a squid, kind of propelling me through this space.
I love that. Okay. Well, you get closer to it, and yes, it looks like there is like not a definite line in this area between the two places, and you've never seen anything like that before. And as you're just kind of looking at it, investigating it maybe, in this like almost just blur of speed and fury behind all of you, appears what looks like another X10.
Did I sense them coming towards us?
Because you had that, because you had that sparkling, I will say you did.
I'm just gonna whirl around with my distortion whip out still, and just be like ready to go. And like, if I need to whip this X10 in the face to say no, like crap, like it's ready. So basically, I just like turn around to like see who's coming.
Oh no. No, Corndog.
Oh no!
No!
Corndog, no!
I thought it was me because
Not
it's
at the
starting to
dramatic
thunder
moment.
here.
No!
Ah, not the cinematic moment. Heck. At first I thought it was me, and not again. Tell you what, hang tight, chat. We're gonna go on break. See if the internet comes back for Corn Dog here. So hang tight, and we're back. We fixed the errors. We're all good. Computers and stuff, but we're back. We're good. And we were right here in kind of the thick of it, and
Into the thick of it.
and the cinematic moment of this green X10 moving at incredible speed towards the group, but Gray turning around, sensing that it was coming from the previous die roll. And as you whip around, she stops, just in her tracks entirely. And just like the head of it kind of moves down, the eyes looking in kind of a glare. It says, "What are you doing here, abandoners?"
Do I recognize this X10? Like, does it look like one of our X10s? So one of, like, the ogresses, or...
I mean, in a modified kind of way, it does kind of look like a Reach X10, but, like, yeah, it's kind of strange, like, almost roguish, and, like, you being a roguish X10 from the Reach, like, you kind of know, it's just, like, even though yours is very custom, like, you kind of have a feeling for what it is, and yeah, this green-eyed, monstrous X10 just stands before you. The limbs are like patterned almost these like scale-like plates that frame like almost like a coiled kind of cockpit shape in the middle. Continues to stare you down.
So that like staff baton from earlier is like in my hand but not extended yet. I'm sorry, I don't think we know you.
Don't play coy. You all know what I am.
Not really, no. Actually.
I feel like it's just like three X10s looking at each other going like, do you know? Do you know? Who is this?
You look like you might be one of ours, and it seems you've got the same energy as what we came here looking for. But no, we don't know who you are.
So really forgotten after that long. And she just kind of goes into this. Reach just left me for dead to bleed down here. And what does anyone have to say for it? I'm not even recognized. What could you all have that I don't? Why was I left alone over you?
Hey, I need you to listen to me. You're in subspace, and we don't know how much time has passed since you entered. Can you tell me what year you think it is?
I will say, since she's kind of like on like a very have a aggressive thing, I will require some type of negotiation to kind of try to talk her down to at least have some type of conversation.
Yeah, this feels like help out.
Okay.
And what are the details of support? I don't know how it necessarily differentiates from speak from the heart. Scroll.
Hold on. Yeah. Save here.
Connections. Making out support. A simple gesture, a few kind words, the space to let a comfortable silence hang. Okay. This feels like support.
Yeah, okay.
Cool. Is anybody gonna help me out on this, or should I just roll and face the consequences?
Would you like me to help you out with my lovely ability of my body extends? Sometimes the line between my physical body and my X10 blur. Or no, wait, this is connecting with someone. Never mind. Nope, but I'll help you out. I'll give you that boost.
Okay.
You'll just hear in a telepathic link like, oh, yeah, I guess we could try talking. Good idea. And it's just a little bit of like support and of like, I was getting ready to bust some
Did
kneecaps.
That's
the face.
2 hits. A hit on
2
a
hits,
4 and
okay.
a hit on a 2.
Very cool.
From the cooking dice.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
So yeah. Rising. So yeah, this is why I was a little leaning more towards negotiate, just because helping out clears.
Okay, yeah, then let's do negotiate.
Yeah.
That makes more sense in this context for what I'm trying to get out of it.
And so yeah, so because that's just seeming like what you're trying to do with it.
Yeah.
So
So
then
then
like
you get to pick one of
I
those
get to
3
choose
options.
something as the person like the move is triggered on. Okay, cool. Alright, I'll give you important information to change for something. Change my course, at least for the time being. I'll give you something useful and change. Yeah, I'll go with important information in exchange for something. That's what you seem to be asking for. So yeah, almost in like a little less bitter of a tone, considering you the first thing you said for the most part like was a lot softer and not like also on the offensive like hers. Just kind of a little less bitter. Just, I don't know. And this is me as a GM not remembering what year we probably would be in now, but insert probably about like 2 to 5-ish years ago.
Okay, great.
So they think it's 2 to 5 years before we entered subspace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Comms, you
Is this
just hear-
person?
Oh,
Is she on like face comms or anything?
No, this is mostly just like a very bitter voice that is going towards you. Like whatever, if you do have screens, it's just like it's very kind of the image is staticky. Like you, from what you can see, and it's again very indistinct, very blurry, very hard to see. If you got a nickel for every pixel on there, you'd probably have like 25 cents. You see like almost, kind of a crystalline form through the comms, but like again, it's hard to see. You can't really make out features very well.
Are we able to tell what that interference is from? If it's because of subspace? Is it because of something that they're doing?
It could be any number of those things. Like the way you all can synchronize with each other very well, as you can locate other X10s, but communicating them can sometimes be a little bit hard. Which is
There's
probably
like a
part of it. You're
short-range
also
comm system.
Yeah.
There's like a short-range comm system that's supposed to be just like
Yeah, there's
here,
like-
but
yeah,
there's
there's- comms.
Yeah, there's that in addition to like, you're not sure how well functioning, how stable this X10 is, especially for being in subspace for 2 to 5 years probably. It's a little difficult. It seems to have adapted to what subspace kind of is. Like, it's seemingly been able to live there better, but...
Darling, who do you think we are?
You're the Reach. You're all the Reach. You're all the same.
Okay,
all of you
so-
left me.
It may not have been better if you had been brought back.
Why's that?
It's not always better on the other side.
It's better than bleeding out in your own cockpit.
Cassandra is going to like lower the unextended lance, move forward again, and like try to like non-threateningly approach.
Okay. Yeah, you already used negotiate there. What exactly are you like planning to do by moving closer? Because like this could potentially be more of a help out thing.
Well, what I would eventually like to do is like basically try to establish trust by like coming out of my mech.
Okay.
Oh, so you wanted to get close.
Yeah, that's kind of the trajectory that this is on. And this is more or less me testing the waters.
Okay.
We're getting the sense that, like you mentioned, potentially them being crystalline or like in order to survive in space this long, a normal human could not do that, but a machine might be able to.
Or like what was probably shared, like just the Fathomer myth is like, these Fathomers, these people that were trapped in subspace for a certain amount of time, like kind of assumed these crystalline forms that don't exactly have the same requirements as organic humans. That's kind of they're almost like aliens, but not really.
Are there any like myths about Fathomers coming back?
Not that you know.
Okay.
But
continue.
Cassandra, to continue. Yeah, I'll consider like you express concern. And she's a little less bitter now. So there's just hurt. You guys can tell in her voice and how she's speaking to you that there's just a lot of hurt and even like just kind of envy, at least in her first statements of, what could you have that she doesn't. So I'll allow it. Get close. I like it.
So I think what Cassandra says in this moment is like, hey, I don't know what happened to you out here. You've been in subspace a while, okay? And I want to see if we can help get you out. But at the very least, you have people who know you're here. I'm gonna come out of my mech. Is that okay? And like, I don't know if like the same hiss happens in subspace that would happen.
there's an outpouring of just kind of the same like ethereal medium that is subspace. We'll say that there's a little something, but again, like it's all just kind of muffled. Oh my gosh, my dog. Why?
Woof woof.
Yeah, that's interesting. Where like top space, the void in top space is like you can't hear anything beyond like your own breathing in your suit. Maybe like I can kind of hear like the muffled buzz of the mechs. And I'm just going to try and like open the cockpit so that I'm visible and like talk to this person. So I'm speaking from the heart as I try to get close.
Okay.
Oh, I have a +1 shift because I rolled 2 3s. Hey. Okay, so I've spent my last shift. I'm out of bonuses for now.
Okay.
But yeah, that's 1 hit.
Okay. So.
I think I'm gonna try to give them something that I think they want, which is like.
Although I think this is the same. I think this is the same mechanic as negotiate. I think.
Oh, they pick.
What I think, yeah, I think I picked this.
We did it
Okay.
backwards last time. Okay.
Yeah, we did. I know. I was just like, ah. I noticed that afterward. I was like, man. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll go with. I give you something that I think you want. Yeah, she will also open up her cockpit, and the way it opens is really strange. It's the coils like almost coiling like a snake around the center, almost like unfurls until it's all around kind of either the top towards the arms or the bottom towards the leg, and then opens outward, and yeah, this green crystalline person walks out, seemingly just unbothered by the fact that you all are in subspace or just kind of around.
Very curious setup for a mech. Just absently.
Alien. It's alien stuff. I love it.
I don't recall any design like that. That's so curious. This is all just in character, her talking over the proxy.
Yeah, our Gray is looking like at Eva and then at Cassandra and then at Eva like, what the heck? What's happening?
Well, it seems like Cassandra's trying to talk her down, and she's reciprocating. Wonder if we'll get
that, but she's green.
You have to adapt to survive.
It's fair.
What he just said is all sorts of shades of Dr. Davis.
Listen. As far as there are 3 people in this conversation right now who should understand that, and that's the gene built, the rebuilt, and the crystalline person from subspace.
Yeah, it's just like those words fit. But
I
yeah,
felt kind of called out, but it's fine.
I know she didn't know, but anyway.
This is the point at which Cassandra reaches out to Gray and says, psychically, how much time have we been in here?
How much time have we been in here? Like 15 minutes according to my clock?
I would say more towards like between talking her down and the pauses in between. I would say closer to like 25 to half an hour. So you've used up about half your time.
I relay that information back, just as the anxious person watching like the tick down timer.
Yeah, like considering you sparkled on your roll to get down here, you have that track to explore. That's kind of what I'm basing that off of. You were able to save some time.
Cool. Hi, I'm Cassandra. What's your name?
I don't really remember, at least not like that. I'm just envy.
What was that?
Envy.
Okay. Is it alright if I call you that?
Okay. What could you all possibly do to help me now?
What was
You
the last
lucky.
way you tried leaving?
Well, I went through that halo. She points over there. And was able to go for a while. I mean, found some drones. They kind of chased me back over to here, and you get the sense that the sabotage drones out or by Lavender are probably the ones that she ended up having a scuffle with.
You said that their eyes turned green, right?
Yeah, or at
drones.
least like whatever light or indicator that they are powered turned green.
What if you rode along with one of us while we left, instead of using that? And she points towards an anomaly.
Maybe I kind of hate to leave it. Is there any way to retrieve it later?
We could tow you? That's a thing that these would be able to do, right?
I don't
Tow
see
a
why
whip.
not. I don't see why not.
Got a whip and I'm really good at flying through space.
Does that sound like a plan, y'all?
But what happens when we get to the other side? What happens when we bring them back to the Reach?
And you can see me like over visual on whether or not we bring her back. I think is up to her.
Well, yeah. What would we even do? I mean, how could we possibly fix anything? I mean, I'm having trouble believing you even want to help. Why do you even want to help?
Cassandra isn't one for leaving people behind, even if they're better off that way. And it's just like a knowing thought comes
God.
through
Damn.
as to a hint of her rebuilt nature and the before times.
We get that tight shot on Cassandra's face as you say that, and she winces.
I hope somebody caught a screen cap of that because everyone's reaction there was golden.
Purpleville, you know what to do. We love you. Okay. Yeah, she, much softer in tone now, especially since you first encountered her. Takes the hint. She gets it. Oh. Apologies.
Don't apologize. Cassandra's just not gonna leave you out here. Unless that's what you want to do.
Nobody deserves to be alone like that.
I mean, again, they left me. They didn't. No one was sent out to find me after I crashed in here. Cat.
Maybe fresh.
Are they going to accept me now? Like, did they? What do we do? What I don't know.
Do you think the cosmic embrace? And she's gonna leave that question like unfinished.
Is that over comms or is that the psychic
Yeah.
link? That's kind of what I was thinking. I don't know, I'm knowing how the Reach behaves. Well, I don't think anyone wants to see her end up on a lab table. Can't guarantee that the Cosmic Embrace is much better,
They're
but they're certainly more
used to this
accepting.
stuff, though. There's somewhere where we might be able to take you. I'm gonna shut that door.
Okay. The baby committing baby crimes. And she takes a long pause, just kind of contemplating this. Says, "Okay, I'll trust you. Where do we go from here? How long have you been here?"
We have 3 minutes and 47 seconds till we need to leave.
Precision.
Oof.
We ought to get out now, then.
Let's go. And
Back in-
I grab her by the wrist. Then
Okay.
her? I don't know if we established that.
Either one.
Okay. I pull them into the cockpit of my mech and get ready for some psychic effects.
I pull their mech towards us and then just kind of do the hug again and use another gravitational well to send us back to where we put our time stopper, our time anchor outside.
All right. I think. Do you have to do another launch to leave subspace? I don't actually know.
It feels like there should be a roll here.
Yeah, it feels like two because it's tough. The difference between top space and subspace. I think. Yeah. Let's do either another. Yeah. A launch either doing like draw near distance. I do like
Do
that.
if I can help out and draw on a connection here. Just a little bit of a reassurance since Cass is helping and kind of dealing with the feedback of Envy. Helping out Gray a little bit. You did it once before. You know where the marker is. And you'll be able to get us out. And with that, that's using one of my pilot moves.
Ooh.
Is aptly titled, "Don't worry, you've got this." When connecting using the shield or help out moves, you or the pilot you are connecting with may shift one pilot or boost die. So I can give you my boost die.
Boost die is a D8.
Yes.
It is.
Cool. Excellent. All right. Let's
And before you roll that, I will say I think I'm going to invoke my crashed ship
Okay.
No!
and take
Okay.
out one of those dice. Just one. That's all I can do. But
You did what to the die?
you can take one die out of the pool at least for the crashed ship.
Rude.
You still have that boost die. You're fine. Maybe.
Oh, thank God I had that boost die.
Just to make
So
things more interesting.
A boost die was a 6. I rolled a single 4 and 2 1s.
Okay. Well, I mean, the one would have given you the success anyway, but awesome. Yeah, 2 successes. Very good. Yeah, you are able to leave subspace without issue. Again, you have the list in the group chat if there's one in particular you'd like to do. Like you can recover a strain if you'd like. If there are any threats, you can use hurt with 1 shift before victim can initiate the next cycle. You don't really see anything leaving, but that's something else you can take, or taking the same thing you did before entering subspace.
Would there be a way I could shift that like strain recovery over to Eva for helping me out, like giving me the confidence to do what I needed to do, and just be like, thanks.
You know what?
Right. And
Friendship.
just try
I
to,
like it.
I want to shift strain for friendship.
You know what? Friendship. I like it. Let's go with it.
Friendship strain removal.
Yay.
Mainly because I don't have any strain right now.
Yeah.
Doing okay. I was quite successful in our first encounter, so.
Thank you, Fran.
All right.
Just a nice mech handhold. Except we don't have actual arms. I've got. Nope, you don't want to hold my hand. Don't touch my hand. Never mind. There's toxins in my only hand. Nope, just kidding.
A social distance high five.
The polite white person in a car wave. Just a couple fingers up.
Just has long white fingers, just like that.
All right. So you successfully get out of this weird ethereal space where your emotions are more manifested, which I didn't mention before, but at least within subspace, that this green aura was just radiating out from this individual. You managed to go out and are now back in top space. Just about where you were before you entered. Just a little ways off.
Is Envy okay?
She seems
Emerging
to,
from
yeah. She
subspace.
seems to be okay.
Okay.
She's still just kind of stuck in that crystalline form, or is
Yeah,
it fading?
like that just seems to be like an adaptation to subspace. It doesn't seem to be something that is hindering her from being in top space, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's not opposed to being here.
Mm-hmm.
Can somebody check that marker?
Looks like
Sound
we're
like-
good. Are our drones fixing things? The ones that we brought with us?
Yeah, they've just been off like this entire time, just
Okay.
fixing
Wanna make sure
things.
stuff's
Mostly,
been getting repaired,
yeah,
so
at
our
this-
mission is successful.
yeah, at this point it's more of the structures, because the drones themselves that you guys fought, like between going through a scuffle with Envy to having a scuffle with you guys, it's just they're kind of done. They're probably gonna get recycled, but it's okay.
At least we can repair some of the stuff out here and report back what happened.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're going to go to the Cosmic Embrace, which people? The Cosmic?
Yes.
Yeah, Cosmic Embrace. I was right. Okay. If we're gonna go there, we should strap in. It's not gonna be a pleasant experience to drop one of our own off for them. Or you
Yeah.
could come back to the Reach with us. And just kind of like looks into Cassandra's X10, trying to like share their screens to speak back to Envy.
I mean, again, would they accept someone like me?
The Reach?
The Reach.
I doubt it.
As long as you're useful. And there's that bitter twinge.
If you're okay with being experimented on, then yeah. They'd probably welcome you back with open arms. But if you're comfortable being you, don't necessarily need to go back.
I don't think I should. And
Wow.
you all seem bitter about being in the Reach. What about you?
What? Us? Bitter? What?
Yeah.
I don't know where you would have gone. Just kidding.
I think we are all capable of acknowledging where our faction has its downfalls. But that's every faction. Homebound is too obsessed with trying to get back to Cerulia. The Reach likes to use us as tools. And Cosmic Embrace, well, no one's quite sure what they're doing, other than trying to get the sling.
I think that's my best bet out of any. As opposed to being alone.
How do we get a lock on the embrace?
That's a fantastic question. Tell you what.
That would probably be a trace,
Because,
right?
yeah, it would probably be, I was going to say the same thing, it would probably be a trace because there is not a distinct territory. They are nomadic. So finding the headquarters, the flagship Cosmo Riddle,
Probably
you could try to
trying
trace it.
Trying to focus more on like the goddess, right? Because that's the one that's got the 2 cores and it
That
has
too.
big energy. Big energy.
It's got extra Minovsky particles. I mean, violet core.
What would you want for a roll for that? Because I can make an argument for distance since we are kind of reaching out over the expanse to try to find them.
I'd allow it.
And distance
I'd
is
allow
also
it.
a movement thing.
I'm game to give that a roll. Let's find out. Where are all of my purple sparkly dice? For playing Violet Core, we have to have purple sparkly dice.
Yeah, exactly.
A 4, 2 1s, and a 3.
Okay. Well, you made one hit, so there you go. Let me get to going to trace. We're going back to the past. Samurai Jack. Here we are. Right. You sink deep into your extension of your body, and kind of reach out using whatever radar and senses that you can, an extension of your own, to find the goddess, hiding or otherwise. Yeah, you pinpoint the location of the X10. It's a ways. It's actually closer towards Rose right now. Of the other planets, it's the Mercury analog of the solar system. Yeah, you can extend your Proxcom and communicate with them. Get one shift on your next turn to move towards that X10 or pilot, or shield your wave frequency for the rest of the scene, and they will be unable to trace you.
I feel like in this situation, the best bet would be to reach out with the Proxcom and explain, hey, this is what's going on. Are we, Ava's gonna pose this question to everybody else first. Like, well, are we taking up this idea that we all leave for the embrace? Or are we just bringing envy?
This silence is canonical.
I need to know what I'm telling them, ladies.
There's too much of me back in the Reach for me to leave just yet.
I think Cassandra is looking like kind of torn between Eva and Gray's monitors. You can tell them I'm thinking about it.
Okay, so for the time being, I'll just tell them that we are not hostile. We are escorting someone who would like to join them.
Sounds right.
Okay, and then James pulls up the prox comms and attempts to reach out to the goddess.
Okay. Yeah, it manages to connect. You travel a ways before you get a great connection with it. And yeah, you're able to get in contact, and this kind of gruff voice comes over the comms. Do you say like that message to them, or are you trying to get in contact first?
Probably just attempting to get into contact first, but establishing that this is not meant to be hostile.
Okay.
This is a conversation.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
The gruff voice replies back. Identify yourself.
my name is Ava. I have with me 3 other pilots. We are escorting one individual who would like to join the Embrace.
And just, where have you all come from?
Almost directly out of subspace.
Yeah. Because, yeah, I don't know if you guys know, but there are some weird things that can go into subspace. Yeah. That information, yeah, she's just going to say, well, enemy of Cerulean and the rest of them, the front of ours. Send them on in.
We'll be there shortly. That's our go ahead. That's our all clear.
All right, move out.
All right. Yeah, you managed to get close enough, and it's tense. Like, even though this is like a peaceful like proximity and interaction, just like the fact that something like the goddess, like you know how tough they are. You know how tough the goddess is. Like, it's intimidating. It is intimidating being in that presence. But yeah. You're able to get Envy into her X10 again, and she's able to join their numbers without anything seeming to happen. But there is a pause for any of you still thinking it over.
Yeah, it's dramatic and fun. So there's like this moment of hesitation. And then there's like direct comms between just the three of us. Stay safe out there, y'all. I'm gonna go with them.
Are you certain?
Yeah. No. But certain enough. I don't want to... I don't want to be part of a machine that keeps hurting my friends. So... And then, like, comms cut. And the Gunlad starts, like, backing away.
Okay.
She would hang up before we could respond.
I felt like I gave a nice long gap.
I needed a minute.
Don't you still have that mental thing going?
You do, actually.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So you like cut the comms and like 30 seconds later. See you again soon.
I'll keep an eye out for you.
And then Gray reaches out. Sure you don't want to join Amiibo?
Maybe someday. But not today.
I may have an idea for when we get back to the Reach.
Oh yeah?
To prepare us for a Sunday. And it's just like weird vibrations coming out of the mech suit of like... There's a smirk on her face that's very unfamiliar. It's like you're looking across the cameras. But like someone who didn't really think of a future before now can like see a direction. So there's that brief moment of, oh, I know what to do next, rather than just a machine living day by day. So she's planning a heist of her body parts.
Don't give me more one-shot
Space
ideas. We're
heist.
just gonna have to do this
Space
again
heist.
later.
And
Ugh.
it would just kind of grins and turns around and starts back with you and just says, God, it's great to see the light in your eyes again.
My God.
And,
And the first notes of the guitar anime outro start playing.
Well,
you think
yeah.
I'll be able to get a crack at the goddess before we defect?
Maybe that's how we get in.
Ooh, I like that thinking. So what are we going to tell the Reach?
That's what I was gonna ask.
People have been lost in subspace before. We have proof. Wouldn't necessarily... I think they'll be disappointed that their best cadet is gone, but fuck them.
Oh, I hate to be the one that says it. It's not like they're culturing more every day. That's part of why she left, I think.
Yeah. It's been her code since the start. Glad to see her do something else with it.
Well, let's get through the day, and then we can look to Sunday.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah. I guess as the two pairs of you split your ways. One way towards the cosmic embrace, and the other back to the reach. You make up some type of believable story for why your fellow cadet was lost. Seem to buy it. Again, people are lost in the shuffle at the reach. Experiments malfunction. It's just kind of another thing taken out in the book somewhere deep between files and pages. I have a feeling either one of you might be interested enough to try to look into Envy's case. And
Do it.
yeah, you eventually do find something kind of matching her description, the best you could at least, understanding like the shape of her face and everything like that, with even being crystalline. That she was once a gene built from the Reach, Jade Taurus 0025.
When we didn't know her name, I was gonna call her Jade.
There it is.
No.
There it is.
No.
So cool.
But yeah, there is nothing else you guys would like to do. I think that's a great place to call it.
I like it.
Alright. We did it! We did the mission! Congrats, guys. That was awesome. That was so cool. Oh my god. We have a little bit of time just to do kind of a typical Coven decompress, talk about the session, talk about the game if you guys would like to. For those of you that aren't really going to hang out, actually no, we'll do outros at the end of it. If you're not hanging out for the decompress, check us out on social media. We're around. We have our ats in the little boxes above here. But yeah, how we feeling? How we feeling, guys?
That was very heartwarming.
Sad good.
Man, yeah,
Good sad.
yeah, leading up to this, I was like, I prepared for two options. Like, there could 100% just be a massive story in between you guys and Jade. Like, that was something I prepared for. It would have been a crazy combat. But yeah, I also prepared for the negotiation route. I figured that was something that could also be leaned towards and maybe more leaned towards. And I'm really glad you guys took that. It was very heartwarming. I'm just like, oh, I didn't get to use like any like X10 stuff, but it's fine. Like I actually I preferred this one, I think, in comparison.
Yeah, I think this one opted for a lot more of what you were probably trying to go for with the story.
Yeah, or just like, yeah, I mean, kind of this, one of the central ideals of Violet Core is, you know, friendship and connecting with each other. And sometimes that can happen between factions. It's less common, but like, I don't know, I think it's more meaningful when there is, you know?
Yeah.
Well, and one of the things, having talked to Sarah kind of in the background leading up to this game, is like, it comes out of, in part, Firebrands, which does have this explicit, like, three-faction system as well. And in that game, like, friendships, rivalries, lovers happen across all those factions in ways that are, like, really fun and messy.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, in this game, it's definitely a lot better suited to running three people in the same faction. But I can absolutely see, if we were to continue this game, having one person in a different faction being able to cut back and forth between what's going on in each of our zones would be really fun.
And just even the altercations between friends.
Yeah. Even within the faction. Oh my gosh. And chat, if you have any questions or comments, feel free just to talk. I don't know.
So we've got Sarah Carapace, the dev.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we have the lovely Sarah Carapace in chat if you want to keep chilling with us.
Screaming in chat.
Listen, because
I hope we did it justice.
We had a defection ending. Like, oh my god. What? Okay. Oh. But yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Like once, like I will say, if we're going to talk more about the game, the time investment it took to learn the terminology and everything was a lot, but I think there was a good payoff once you understood what everything was trying to do, if that makes sense. Like, I think that was the
Yeah.
only thing I really had about. Other than that, like, the aesthetic is there, the mechanics are there. It's just a matter of learning everything.
Which, once you actually get into the play of it, it's not as overwhelming as reading through it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I
Once
think
you
that
can-
helped.
Yeah, once you can kind of break it down, you get what you're trying to get across with it. The feel of a dance, the feel of connections, emotional and physical, even in the combat, just with how everything works.
My question-
oh.
My question for the group was, how did you, because it took me the longest of our whole group to figure out what the F I was doing, both mechanically and character-wise. When you were going through the pilot types and the different X10 types, how did you decide on where you ended up? I always like character creation, like brain understandings.
I will fully say that I did not know what anything did before I picked my pilot and X10. I was kind of like, one of the things that really works about these playbooks is that they're super flavorful, and you have for the most part, I would say, a very clear idea of what they're about and how they want to accomplish it.
Yeah.
And so even though there was like a lot of lingo I didn't yet understand, it was pretty easy to pick something that was like, the two kinds of pilots that I was deciding between were the violet kind, which is like, you know, psychic, loves kissing, and the rat queen is not what it's actually called. But
Rat
that's what's
bitch.
in my rat bitch.
Yeah.
And rat bitch, who's so great. Their whole thing is just like crucifying themselves and being angry all the time and rebelling. It's great. Yeah, and so I was entirely picking by like the vibe of the moves, the kind of emotional thing that they could do, and I was trying to play against type, which is why I picked somebody who had a lot of softy moves rather than being a rat bitch like I am in real life.
For me, it ended up. So, hey, do you remember how with Dungeon Bitches, we all kind of went through and we found something that intuitively we were just like, no, this is
Yeah,
it.
it's like the tag yourself. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's kind of how it ended up being with me. It just felt intuitive. Like, literally, Shining Star was the first one I opened, and I read through it, and I was like, no.
Yep.
I don't care what anything else says.
That's it. That's it right
This
there.
is mine. And I went through and I read all the X10s because I was like, okay, I want to pick something that actually complements the pilot types that I took. And it was between Hag and Gorgon, and I went through it again and I was like, I really like the idea of being this cocky bitch that tries to scare the hell out of people.
It's like Gorgon is perfect for that. It's perfect.
And it
for
was
that.
great, even though I didn't get to use that, but it's fine. I'm okay with it. I will be keeping it in my side pocket for another campaign. But yeah, that's how it ended up working out for me, as it was just an intuitive thing.
I wish I had read the flavor first, because what I did was I was like, all right, this is gonna be like other RPG systems that I played where you just read the playbook,
Oh
you'll be
no.
fine. Just read the playbook and you'll be fine. Like, you'll get it. Don't worry. Heck is just introducing you to a new system. It'll be super, super easy.
It's not like Velvet Glove. I'm sorry.
It's not like Velvet Glove. I was misled. Because I was struggling so hard just reading the playbooks, and I was just like, what the fuck am I doing? And then finally I just went through and started reading the book, and once I finally got to like the factions and then kind of like the pilot types that you could be, for me, reading the Rebuilt was me reading myself. Before the call started, we were all talking about trauma, because that's just what a chill Friday morning call starts with.
That's what we do.
Dark jokes and trauma talks.
Hi, welcome to the coven.
But welcome to the coven.
Yeah.
We're here. We're here and we're queer.
You
Get used to it.
Post dungeon bitches chat. Anyway.
Yeah. And so when I read the Rebuilt, I was just like, yep, this one's me. And for me, I like, it's kind of like you were talking about how it was intuitive, how you read something and you just knew. And I was really grateful for having the flavor there, because I was like, well, I would never be picked to fly something in space. I would never be picked to be a pilot. What am I doing? And then I was reading through these and I was like, this just makes sense. Because like chat was popping off and Vermin was like, I'm gonna be the rat bitch. And I was like, all right. Vermin was like, this is me. Ended up changing, but I was like, I want to find the pilot that's me then. Because typically when I play RPGs, I play soft goofballs. I like playing soft characters, because life is kind of shitty, and it's really nice to have an RPG system where you just get to be a doofus and cause chaos. Whereas this one, I felt like I got to lean into more of who I am as a person and just kind of like getting through life and having a point of trauma, having that before and after, and being able to pull from that entirely. Sorry, Vermin, for giving you some of the same kind of gross vibes I tend to give my family, who is part of my trauma experience. I was just like, we're just gonna lean into this real hard and make it icky for everybody. Here's the icky feelings.
Great.
Well, that's the thing. Like, that's another that's another like kind of basis of the game. I think it's kind of dealing with that. Like, the pilots are in probably one of the worst positions out of the entire system. Being rejected by a planet, that entire civilization, and just being used by factions to develop research or just whatever they can to get out. Like, they're really underappreciated, not really treated like people. So I think that was a very appropriate thing to go down, which I really liked that you did. It was very good.
It's the way that you leaned into that, I think, highlighted so much of like the reality of the situation, which I feel like so to talk broadly about mech fiction and how I feel about it, my favorite mech fiction is really stuff that engages with like the reality of like these people are experiencing things like way beyond their capacity to deal with. They are in the worst position as far as like they emotionally getting hurt, going through war, seeing their friends die, and so to highlight the fact that like we were all experiments, and like you on some level were just like really unhappy with the situation, to show that side to my character was like wonderful. It's like exactly the kind of thing that you would see in the middle arc in a Gundam episode.
Exactly. Like, again, you guys, you get the assignment, you get the vibe that we're going for. It's just like, like if I played this in any other group in Coven, like I don't know what I would do. So thank you all for, again, getting the assignment. You guys nailed it.
So I just want to shout this out right now. Like, we're talking obliquely about the lore. This game, I'm a person who writes anti-canon games. Like, I want people to be able to make their own world. I love the stuff I'm handed here. Like,
the lore is so good.
Precise.
Yeah.
It's fun to read because there's all this like diegetic like conversation happening in it, even on just like the side of the rulebook. Good stuff.
You can really see that the care and the thought that went into this setup, and it's great. I love the story. I love this lore that you've gone into, Sarah. I love it. Please, can we talk about formatting? Please.
Can we just
Can we
just a
please
little,
talk about
just
formatting
a little.
for
I
your
mean, I
book?
realize this is like very much draft. Like, you know, like you said, the preview version isn't coming out until late this year. But oh my goodness, I think that's maybe what killed us. I think that's what killed
Sarah-
us here. That's what made the
Sarah-
learning curve a thing.
I promise I love you, but bright pink on white hurts. That is very.
Yeah,
I
and next
had-
would be very helpful. I agree.
Yeah.
And just like maybe like further like consolidation of things, because at least with the rules or like what the moves do, I feel like I read what the descriptions of the moves were like a couple times, and then at the end I finally understood what they all did. That was kind of the main thing. I think that's what made it harder for me to understand. And I was like, oh, okay, here's the rising things, here's the sparkling things. All right, the pieces are together. We got it.
Yeah.
That was like my main thing.
It's as a document, it jumps between that lore and that rules text a lot, and like both are so good. They just need to be sandwiched together appropriately.
Yeah. But overall, like we've been saying, we're here for it.
We love the
very
system.
much
It is
enjoyed it.
solid. We just
Damn,
This
this
game's
is
formatting. That's it. But yeah, we don't have long until the next panel is going to be going. So I think we should probably wrap up, start doing some outros. So this was super fun, but as TPKCon goes, we're very busy. We gotta move on. So let's start in upwardly order, starting with Vermin.
What's up, everybody? I am Legendary Vermin. You can find me everywhere on the internet that matters, which is itch, Twitch, and Twitter as Legendary Vermin. I make games in my spare time. Go check those out. I'm going to be on later today at 7 Pacific doing totally random, a fully randomized session. I don't know what to expect there. Nobody does.
No one
And
does.
then
That's the
I will
best
be-
part.
Not even the GM.
And then I will be back on Sunday running a really exciting thing centered around my friend Raph's new RPG, Bullet. It is a super unique system. I don't have time to talk about it here, but there's a jam going on called Bullet Jam. Bullet with an X where the U should be, and Jam with an X where the A should be. I will drop a link in the chat for that. If you're a really fast writer, go submit something today. We will talk about every supplement that's been released for that jam during that panel / playthrough of some of the content from the jam. So
From
it's
the
really
jam.
exciting.
I can't wait to see it. It's gonna be great.
All right, then it's me,
Mhm.
Corndog McGraw. You can check me out here on TPK Roleplay. You're welcome. You can also find me on Twitter, where I either talk about reality TV, shit on politicians, or send memes. Lots of memes. But you can check me out here on Sunday during TPKCon. Sunday morning, set your alarms now for 8:55 Central. So that way you can make your coffee and get up and come hang out and watch a really wicked cool cast perform a heist, because stealing shit is fun, as long as it's from the rich. It's fine. Don't steal from poor people, that's rude. Anyways, you can also find me here during module week, except for this coming week, because we're taking a week off for my Wednesday and Thursday games. So
That's fine.
Oh my gosh, it's fine. I totally know what's gonna happen in our universes and stuff like that. But really want to give a shout out to Sarah. We have like bits and snippets of art that's going to be coming out in this book, and like in my brain I have a certain way Gundam machines look because of thanks to like Pacific Rim and stuff like that. And when you see the creativity that goes into all these mech different outfits and their art, there's some really crazy shit. Like, my hips are popping for the Jester, and it's completely ridiculous. And it's just whoosh, and it like legs then go down, and it's just it's nothing that I could have imagined, and I'm so grateful it exists. So go check out art. Sarah posts a bunch of random stuff on her Twitters.
And there's a thread of just like all of the Violet Core stuff right now. Super informative. Go check it out.
There it is. There's that link.
There's the link. Go look at the things on the internet. I'll pass it off to Meg.
Click it, you cowards. Hi, everybody. I am Mech Mysteria. As far as where you can find me here on TPK, literally in the next panel in 30 minutes.
How did you do this?
I don't know.
You're doing great, sweetie. You're doing great.
I'm doing my best. But you can also find me on my personal Twitch that was shouted out a little bit ago. I'm swapping back and forth between Alien Isolation and Resident Evil 0. Hopefully getting some of the Resident Evil games done this month while I have time off. Or on my Twitter, where I mostly just repost promos or post promos on my account for TPK. But we're here for it. It was so good you bought the game. I am pleased. Pleased as a peach. But that's about it for me. Let's throw it over to Sir Heck.
Alright, we're back. Hey guys, it's me, Sir Heckalot. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter and all of the social medias at Sir Heckalot. I do fun stuff, like, I just played through, What Remains of Edith Finch. Great game. In terms of where you'll see me next, we'll talk about it. In terms of where you'll see me next, I will actually be in a regularly scheduled session of Seven Suns, a D&D campaign over on Neon Lights Roleplay. On Sunday, I am part of the heist. Every pro has its cons that Corn Dog just mentioned. And then I'm actually running my own panel on Sunday, talking about animals and TTRPGs, along with Tyrant and Foxy, as well as Chrissy. And we're just going to talk all about that kind of stuff. It's going to be fantastic. But yeah, you won't see me for a while. You won't see me for a while after that because Module Week is a ghost town this time around.
Let's just hang out and vibe out.
Yeah. But I will shout out because Proper didn't do so in the last panel. Daryl Electric, he's running a Ghost Train one shot, and you should definitely check it out on Tuesday. So do that. Yeah, that is. I think that's all I got. So thank you all for showing up for this adventure. We had a blast. I hope you did too. And see you around. Bye.
Hi guys.